my wife ordered a fish boil today for dinner. It happens to also be a Thai restaurant, so you can imagine what kind of spices they're throwing out. And I was like, oh, just give me like a curry, something or other. And I just ate a bowl of rice and curry here. And I went over to her and I said, "Hey, babe, how spicy did you ask them to make that bowl of curry?" She said, "Oh, max spicy, just max spicy. It's spicy. That's one of the best bowls of curry I had in a little while. Thai curry, specifically. It was really good. Very happy about that. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the After Chat. This is where we answer your questions live, ham radio or otherwise. But since we're coming off the back of a fantastic interview that we did with Max and James from the 3Y0K group that went to Bouvet Island in the deep, deep Atlantic Ocean. I think they're already over there. So we're going to try and probably answer some questions with them. I did have a series of questions that we worked through on my tablet here. I think we got through most of them. So if you have questions about a DXPedition, maybe not the most difficult DXPedition, but DXPeditions in general, like just curiosities regarding that, then this is probably the right group to ask. So let's get the Discord going, because I need to take a breath. It's a little spicy in my mouth right now. I have to say, it's fantastic curry, though. Very much enjoy it. So let's jump in here and see what's going on. Hello, everyone. Oh, I can't hear anyone, so that's not good. Wow. All right, I'm going to mute myself for a second here. A little spicy. Test. Testing. You can hear that, right? Oh, that's probably why. You can hear all that. Hello. Am I making it? I still can't hear them. This is very frustrating. Oh, there we go. We got it. Okay. Hello, everybody. I got it.
Hello, Josh.
Oh, all right. You guys have already been talking. We have James and Max in the chat right now. Are they already hanging out?
Hello. Yes.
Hello. Already some questions answered, I hoped, or is anybody with some questions for them? Let's take them now. Were you guys already talking with people? I don't want to, if you've already, would recap a little bit. Go ahead.
We were just saying that we went to a rave in South Africa in Cape Town.
What was that like?
It was like a Berlin German techno. Like, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
In South Africa? Like hardcore, like super electro?
So, well, yeah, like German techno.
Josh, Discord audio on the YouTube side, no one can hear anything. It's like ducked down really low.
Okay. All right, that should be fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was, basically we got back Saturday and, we went out for like a nice celebratory dinner and stuff. And so we went to a bar after and so we were looking, well, what's there to do in Cape Town, on a Saturday night. And so I think it was James found this like club that was like doing some rave or something. And then he said, oh, well, who wants to go? And so we mounted a group of guys and we went and, it was very European, which makes sense. Cape Town was a British colony the whole Cape history of South Africa stuff. But, it was one of those, it starts at, 11, runs till sunrise. I think James and I both had a lot of fun.
Did you bring your tracksuit? Were you wearing your tracksuit for this rave?
I mean, I just went in my party gear, my orange hat and shirt.
There you go. Very good.
I don't know. It was definitely not. I didn't look like a German rave goer though, but it was fun.
It something that I didn't get to ask like during the previous live stream, but is there anything that's like changed your way of operating radio from this expedition? And it could just be like your own individual POTAs or contesting or whatever. Like, are you going to do things differently? Maybe different gear or whatever? Like, what? Anything like that?
I bought a new headset.
Okay, what'd you get?
So what I brought to the expedition, it's still a headset I like a lot. It's the Audio-Technica BPHS-1. It's like this very fancy design for broadcast environment. Like, you're at like the press box of a football game or Formula One race or whatever. So very good audio, very nice mic element. Basically has the Audio-Technica M50X headphone elements for those audiophiles that are here. Not great noise reduction or not great passive noise canceling, and so. After that, I bit the bullet, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do more of these things, or I'm going to go on more multi-op contests or whatever, I finally bit the bullet, bought a ham set. And so that's basically, it's a pair of Bose QC25s, the Bose noise-canceling wired headphones. Right. This is an Italian guy. He shoves a dynamic mic boom on it. And so a lot of people like them. And so yeah, I did that.
And have you got to use them yet?
No, they're still coming in from Europe, but I'll have them before WRTC.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so are you also participating in WRTC?
Yeah, I'm on one of the WRTC youth teams, youth team number 3, myself and my team lead Willow, W7WLW. Should be a lot of fun, and it keeps the momentum going. I basically have the rest of my year of amateur radio. I had Bouvet, then I have WRTC, and then I don't know, I'll go somewhere in the latter half of the year.
Yeah, go on a beach, maybe. Hang out on a tropical beach. So where is WRTC this year? Like, where will you be activating or operating from?
Yeah, so WRTC, it's in it's like 45 minutes west of Cambridge. So it's whatever that part of the UK is called. It's kind of near Bedfordshire, for those of you guys that know England cities. It's at this place called the Wyboston Lakes Resort. But of course, all the stations will be spread out. So I have a nice direct flight from New York to Heathrow, and then I'll drive or take the train for the rest of the legs.
Nice, yeah. I heard that it takes a little bit of doing to travel there, but you have how many people are on your team?
Yeah, so WRTC is the World Radio Sport Team Championship, and so basically, to sort of take a 30,000-foot look at it, contests are unfair. As you said, where you are in Southern California wasn't great to work Bouvet, but it's also not great to work a lot of other areas, right? Yeah. And so, sometimes the best place to be for a contest is a place like Curacao, where James and I are both members of the Caribbean Contesting Consortium, or a place like Cape Verde off the coast of Africa or Morocco. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to work Asia, you're actually in the perfect spot, as I'm sure you realize every time you get on FTA and just work a million JAs, right?
If I point west, anything I want to do is available to me, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically in 1990, as part of the Goodwill Games, this was something before my time, not sure, much about the details, but it was something with like the Soviet Union and the U.S. deciding to be friends again. They hosted these Goodwill Games for sports in Seattle. And so a group of enterprising hams came together and said, well, we're going to do an amateur radio thing of that. And so they picked the 50 best operators around the world, and set them up for a contest. And ever since then, it's been running basically every 4 years, sort of, Olympic style in a different location. And so it's been happening. It happened in Italy in 2023, Germany in 2018, the U.S. actually up in Massachusetts in 2014. And so basically they take this notion of contesting being unfair and they break everybody up into sort of, qualifying groups, right? And so like in the U.S., it's usually like, the Northeast U.S., the Southeast U.S., the West Coast, might be a couple of batches of countries in Europe, might be all of Southeast Asia. And they have a couple wildcard categories, right? So they have a couple sponsored seats. So if you want to donate to make the thing happen, it's like a silent auction thing, and you can be on a team that way. And then they usually have some youth inclusion, right? So that's 25 and under. So that's how I got in. Was one of the youth guys, girls actually. She qualified and said, "Oh well, Max, do you want to come?" And I said, "Sure." And so they do this, and then they put everybody in the same location, right? So the playing field's level, and then they give everybody the same set of antennas, and you just bring whatever filters and radios and headsets and stuff you want. And then for the IAR-UHF contest, right, which is a 24-hour contest, everybody operates. You get a call sign where nobody knows who you are, and then it gets basically real-time log checked. And by the Sunday after the contest ends, everybody kind of knows who wins. And so that's kind of what it is. And so I got in because they have 4 youth teams this year. So they picked the 4 best youth operators worldwide, and they each got to pick a teammate.
Mm-hmm. What radio are you bringing?
Probably K4 or K3S. We haven't fully decided, but the hookups and cabling are all the same. So we actually have some OM power, bandpass filters, an OM power 2x10 switch, and then either the K3S or the K4. Just depends on what we decide when we have a meeting.
Is there will you predominantly see Elecraft K3Ss like that? Will that be the kind of bench standard, or is there variations at all in that space?
Yeah, so everybody gets to bring whatever they want. The thing I bring up is that actually there was a team of JAs one year, and they used not for the radios but for their logging computers. Right? You think, oh, that's an obvious answer. Just bring a Windows laptop and then 1mm. Well, no, there's a group of Japanese guys on a team, and they used Rumlog on Mac OS, which was kind of neat. But yeah, no, I mean, you just kind of see sort of all these high-performing radios, and it's whatever people decide to bring. And so, yeah, a lot of K3Ss. You saw some K4s in 23, although it was a newer, sort of more untested product at the time.
Right.
You see some Flex stuff. You see a lot of the 7851s and 7850s, the big sort of flagship ICOM radios. I suspect this year we'll probably see some 7760s thrown in the mix, some 101Ds. It's just sort of whatever you're comfortable with.
So it's not like there is a proclivity towards one type of radio. Everybody kind of just brings whatever they are the most comfortable with.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing you see in contest stations. Like at PJ2T, we have 6 K3s, right? That's what we run because of the operating conditions and whatever else. But a guy like Chris KL9A, he's a big ICOM guy. He uses 7610s and 7851s, and so he'll probably bring one of those.
Okay, nice. Oh, that's very cool. All right, folks in the Discord, any questions for Max and James while they're here? I'd like to make the best use of their time talking about Bouvet Island's DXPedition.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, go for it. James, I think I saw.
Yeah, that's me. NV1U here. Quick question. So I'm not sure how much I know you guys had Starlink and whatnot. How much did comments from the internet, such as like DX Summit and whatnot, especially on day one when like James alluded to earlier, like they just threw up like a dipole and just kind of started operating a day early. How much did that affect how you guys operated in terms of like morale and everything else?
So I'll answer that. So, I think Regin is finally available now. It was like Regin, me, and Alex that got that first one on. We did not have internet for like 5 days. So we didn't know anything. It was blind during that time. The rest of the time, I would say I actually appreciated, like I would actually live look at the comments. Maybe this is a bad thing to say because it might make people flood the, but anyway, I thought it was hilarious sometimes, and I'd hear, or I'd read funny shit on there, and I don't know, it never made me like, feel bad, even if people were like, I had people calling me a shit operator, but I saw cranking it out. I was like, I had a good rate, and somebody called me a shit operator. I was like, well, F you, man. Like, I was cranking it out. Like, yeah.
Dude, I don't know. First, let me just say, if anybody gets sad feelings from the folks that are like randomly, anonymously making their comments on the cluster or on random Facebook posts, if anybody gets upset about that, like, that's an internal thing. You got to let that go, because these are just anonymous jerks. Like, you could just forget all of that. It's meaningless. They mean nothing. I love that, James. I love it that you're like, I read it. I don't care. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So the other thing that I like to look at is, like, people would post on there like, hey, like, I can hear you from here. And I go, okay, well, like, let me call for North America right now. And then my favorite was when I'd call for North America only. I'd get like I get all these spots that were like really working North America again, and then to put like dollar signs. I'm like, dude, like, they're the ones we can't work. Like, we get Europe all day. Like, we need to get North America. So whatever. I thought it was hilarious to see that.
It's just nobody's happy. Like, nobody can just be happy anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we just all have to be the snake eating its tail all the time. North America for you guys was very difficult, so I get it. I understand. Oh, man. Max, how about you? Anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a child of the internet, right? So I mean,
You're
nothing on the
terminally
cluster is
online. Is that what you're saying, Max? Is you're terminally
Well,
online?
maybe. I mean, but nothing in the cluster was anything worse than I'd hear in a Counter-Strike match, right?
Yes, Max. Yes, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, man. I think I don't know what I would do. Oh, actually, something I didn't ask about was the Geosynchronous satellite. That was the thing you guys participated on, and were operating. How did that go ultimately?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I wish we had one over the U.S. Yeah, so it's QO100, Qatari Oscar 100. Basically, they launched some TV satellite for Qatar's satellite TV, and they said, oh, well, if there's some hams that want to use the bands that won't interact with our money-making TV enterprise, you can do it. And so it's a weird set of bands. It's 2.4 gigahertz up and 10 gigahertz down. We did it on the ship on the way there to test it, and then on the way back for fun, and we did it on Bouvet. And yeah, it's like, imagine having, a perfect, S0 band noise, no sunspots, 20-meter band all the time, right? It goes from as far as East Brazil into sort of Asia, obviously all of Europe and Africa and Bouvet, and even down to Antarctica. I know Regan, OY1R, is in here, if you figured out the PTT stuff. He's much more involved with all the stuff on that, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I don't know if Reggie, you want to add anything?
Yeah, hello Max and James.
Hey,
nice
we hear
to
you
again.
Yeah.
Very good. We had a cracking setup on QO100, that's for sure. Max, the German guy, he was in charge of that. Unfortunately, Wolfgang could not come. It was his station, so we had to test it on the boat, and we did so on the aft of the ship under the helipad. Me holding the dish, pointing it, and Max and Alex trying to make a couple of contacts. And even if it was rolling, we made quite a couple of contacts that first night, and it was it was fairly good on the island too. We made, I don't know exactly how many, but 3,000 contacts, maybe 4,000, around there, 3,000 maybe. So
Yeah, was that all
as well.
voice? Was that all voice, or did you do
No,
digital
we
as
did
well?
mostly voice, and did a lot of FT8. Alex did a lot of FT8. And CW as well, so all modes. So like
Nice.
12 or 1300 on voice, the same on CW, and almost the same on FT8. So it was it was quite good. So it was highly efficient, gas wise at least. Over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking at the tent, just it's just blowing. Everybody hanging on. That is amazing. I love all this. Any other questions in the chat for Max and James and I missed the name. OY1R is in the chat as well. What was it? What was your name?
Yeah, the name is Rain or Reggie.
Reggie.
As
Okay.
most of the guy called me Reggie. So
Right
you can
on.
try rain, but yeah, rain, Reggie.
Rain or Reggie? Very good. Anybody in the chat or want to ask a question? Go for it. Love to hear it.
I got a quick one. Obviously, they had the restrictions on all of you for what you could leave on the island. I'm just curious. They wouldn't let you take a leak on the island without taking it off, but how did you convince them to let you drill into the rock for the towers?
So like drilling into a rock is not leaving something behind. So they were more worried about leaving something behind. So like drilling a hole is like, okay, but leaving something that, and I don't know why they were worried about the urine. I thought that was really weird, but they were concerned that animals or seabirds or whatever would be attracted to it or something. I don't know the full details of that.
We could leave something behind only if the stream was there. That was if we had running water. So the first 2 or 3 days we had to use the bucket, but I don't know, maybe 5% of the intended the thing we were supposed to put into this bucket went into the bucket. The rest went flying anyway. So. But after a day or two, we noticed the stream was running freely from the glacier. So at that point, it was okay to use the stream to pee in. But the rest, we had to bring home.
How far was the stream? Were you guys actually walking down to the stream that you're mentioning?
Yeah, it was very close.
Oh, okay.
I'm in it walk from the tents maybe or less. Yeah, like 100 meters. I don't know, 50 meters. I'm not exactly sure. It was right there.
Okay, not bad.
I mean, but still, you couldn't just get out of your tent and like walk 10 feet and then go to the bathroom. Like you had to walk. Yeah, but some of the best views at night were like when I woke up to go to the bathroom to pee, and I just didn't turn my hand lamp on, and it was just like the Milky Way. Like for a very, I mean, it was never clear for very long.
Oh yeah,
like
it's all clouds, right?
Yeah, but there were a couple times I went out at night, and it was just like the fucking Milky Way, and I could see everything, and I just walked down to the stream, and
Yep.
I see. It was a good view from the tent there. Yeah.
I see a picture of the toilet before it got a tent. I think that's what I'm looking at right now. Is that?
That's very funny to use the first time. Oh my god! You had to dig in your feet and hold on to your toilet paper.
Really gotta hang on.
Though.
That's awesome.
Great
Oh, yeah,
view.
it was blurry. It was pretty intense that first night when. Yeah, of course. And you got soaking wet. You had to undress, take off your coverall or rain jacket. So it was an experience. It was quite funny actually.
James,
Yeah, go ahead.
James, to add on to that, I probably suspect the reason why they didn't want you leaving, just go pee wherever, is the salination in the urine and the chemicals in the urine would probably be a predatory mark and keep the birds and other wildlife away, as well as destroy the local area, basically.
Did you ask Norway about that, or is this just your thoughts, Frank?
That's just my scientific thought thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to comment on it because we just did what we were like told to do, and everything came from our leadership team and the Norwegian Polar Institute, and so whatever they said we needed to do to be there, we just did, and we didn't ever deviate from that.
Fair enough.
No, what Frank's saying makes sense. I mean, scientifically, biologically, it makes sense and it's accurate. I was just surprised that they were okay with y'all driving anything into the geology. That's just a surprise. I've never heard any of the Antarctic operations permitting that.
Well, be careful. Like, we don't know what they really meant by that. So I don't want to say like scientifically anything because we don't know what they were trying to do or avoid. But you guys followed the process, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, there were times where it was extremely inconvenient, and we just said, you know what, like, we are here based on them allowing us to, so we're going to follow every rule to the T, you know?
Yeah, good ambassadors of the hobby kind of thing. Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
And I was going to say, you also have to remember, Bouvet is different than Antarctica. Looks a lot like Antarctica, but it is a true dependency of Norway, right? So Norwegian law applies. So, everything that you see on the Norwegian law books applies, plus whatever the Norwegian Polar Institute decides to add on or allow or disallow, right? Whereas Antarctica, there's the whole 1954 treaty and blah, 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 right? So it's different, right? If you go to a place like, a national park, right? There's no committee from the UN that says what we can and can't do in national parks, and so think about it that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like in that treaty, you can't have amplified sound on Antarctica, but we could have thrown a rave on Bouvet.
You actually should have. You should have done that. Been the first rave on Bouvet Island. You might have. Did you
I did. I was part of the first rave on Antarctica, actually, but we had to use laptop speakers.
Okay.
Maybe the first and only rave on Antarctica, but it was laptop speakers.
I was gonna ask, did this antenna actually stand straight? This mast, and it looks like that's just wind that's pulling it over, right?
It's a kind of S shape.
Yeah, it's got a huge huge bend over the top of it. Is that's just the wind?
The 80-meter antenna. I think it was a little bit crooked, but it was just limpy, and it worked. It worked. It held up the entire time, unlike the 160-meter.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, Regin, your audio is kind of cutting out, but that was the 160 antenna, and we adjusted some stuff over the time. Like originally, it wasn't guided at 45-degree angles, and that photo that I took there, it was after a huge windstorm, and it was just like, I'm amazed it didn't snap. I'm really, 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 really amazed, and I think Spider Beam's equipment, like the stuff that they sell, is amazing because of that.
Mm-hmm. Is that what those masts were? Was Spider Beams?
Yeah, that was a Spider Beam pole.
Nice. It looks like everything I'm looking at had at least 2 guys, if not 3 guy plates on everything you put up. Is that pretty safe to say?
Yeah, and my rule of thumb, and this is like every antenna that I was involved in building, I was like, we have to do 45-degree or better on guys everywhere. And yeah, I think I stand by that.
Yeah, no, it obviously, God, you can see, I'm going to pause it right there so you can see some of that. That's 3 guys on this vertical right here in the middle. And then the Yagis looks like they had 3 guys, and you can see how separate. How many feet, or I guess meters, of coax did you have too for a lot of this? Because I see these antennas as very spread out.
So probably the farthest antenna was the 15-meter antenna, and that was probably 100 plus meters. That was probably 150 meters of coax to get out there, but because it was so quiet. Because it was so far, and it was so far up on the ridge, and it had a really good takeoff angle to North America. It did really, really good. Even though there was a lot of loss from the coax, just being able to get it up to that spot to get a better takeoff was worth it.
And that was one of the bands that I was like, I think 15 is going to be the one. And I tried so hard, and I was like, man, couldn't get it.
We had a lot of big pileups on 15 and 12 to the U.S.
Yeah, and it's 15. So I'm looking at this image from the tents. It looks like 15 is the one that's closest uphill. Is that the one that was the 15 antenna?
15 is like the farthest to the right. Like you can
Yes.
see it like up on the ridge there. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's up here.
It was actually looking like out over that ridge.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was okay. Yep. That makes sense then. Man, and this overhead shot, it looks like the helicopter took for you. That's crazy.
I think no, that's the one I took. So I took that while I was up there.
Oh, wait, while you were on the helicopter though.
Yep. Yeah. So see where that lake is? There's like a.
I'm sorry, a lake. What is the lake? What is the lake here that I'm looking at? Go ahead, explain this, Mark. Which lake?
So that little pond or whatever lake, whatever, that was right where the peak of that little ridge was, and then it sloped down.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Some people actually went swimming, not in that lake, but in another. I thought it looked too dirty to swim in, so I didn't. But
it was quite okay. It was cleaner than Nass, at least.
Actually, we didn't mention that either. So how did you deal with showering and all that? Was it sponge bath all the time, if at all, or how did you deal with that?
Yes, if at all.
Yeah, and it was so cold that like you couldn't sponge bath like in the tent. So like I would just bring my wipes into my sleeping bag, and then I'd wipe down inside my sleeping bag, and I would change.
Oh wow. Sleeping bags probably got pretty gross at that point. Did you wash them when you got home, or what did you do?
So I kept mine pretty clean. I don't know about everybody else, but because I wore my wool like long johns in mine, and then I brought 3 pairs of long johns, so I just each week I swapped.
Mm. Wow.
Man. Yeah, and you have liners as well, or I had little liners, extra liner inside, and air it out every once in a while. When it wasn't raining, unzip it and just throw it on the cloth line outside.
Yeah, because even if it was cold, the wind would dry out stuff. So like you could, even if it was like below freezing or whatever, as long as it wasn't raining or moisture outside, you could put it out like on the tent lines, and your stuff would dry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, nice. Max, were you gonna say something? I saw you.
No, I was just gonna concur. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do, but yeah, that swim, even though it didn't look super clean, I mean, I felt great after that.
Oh, you did? You whopped in the water?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
How cold was it?
Yeah, this cold. I don't know. Not below freezing, because that's not how water works.
Just above freezing water is what you're saying.
Yeah. So okay. So the weird thing with these ponds, I don't know why some of these were unfrozen, but like there was one pond, a guy that Martin, who wasn't part of the ham guys, but he found this he swam in this clean looking thing, and he sent me a video of it. The next day we hiked over to it. It was frozen solid.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, so I don't know why some of these ponds were not frozen. Like I think there's some ground heat maybe from the volcanic activity.
Oh, maybe. Man. That's cool. This is super cool. Just loving all these images that we're seeing.
You mentioned coax earlier. You see the 2 big bags of coax there on the picture, and in the center of the picture we had like 200 pounds of coaxial cable.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. Man, what a cool group. That must have been a lot of fun. I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous of all these images. This looks like a dream opportunity. Look at that. Man.
We even put out a receive antenna, like a beverage on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. We had 1,000 feet of RG6, and we ran it out as far as we could in a spot that was like aligned where it was blocking. Like there was a ridge that was blocking Europe, and it was pointed at North America and JA basically. Europe somehow still got in on the beverage. I don't know how, but it really, really, really worked great for 40 and 80.
Now, you mentioned that there was like some flex radios and some other type of remote capable radios. Was there any remote operators that ran from the island?
No, none.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's legally allowed from Norway. Like Norway does not allow remote operation or something.
I didn't think you guys did, but you mentioned flex, so I just wanted to make sure I asked because I'm sure people would be curious about that. But man. It's almost like they make it to be as hard as possible. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the Auroras, though. I
Really?
didn't understand. Yeah. So I didn't understand the new technology. Maybe Max or Regin can explain it better. But there's like this like it's a different amplifier type, and it's more efficient.
Oh,
so what it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, so the big problem with amplifiers is, well, most amateur radio communications, SSB and data modes and stuff, they need either Class A or Class AB, which requires a different set of circuitry, and they're all very inefficient, right? In general, a Class A or AB amplifier will be, 50-60% efficient, right? So that means if you want to put out 500 watts, right? So that's a pretty big jump from 100 watts, but not, legal limit or getting into 240 volt or anything. Well, to put out 500 watts, you got to put out a kilowatt of drawn power, right? And so there's this guy up in New England, had a background in electrical engineering, and he devised this concept. It's popular in broadcast. He calls it polar modulation, and so it's used in other things, but basically what it allows you to do is you can use Class E amplifier technology, which is significantly more efficient, 90+%. You do it, in sort of a technical manner. Basically, you're able to split the phase and the actual modulation out of, a given signal, and then amplify just the modulation and then shove it all back in. There's a better way to explain that. But finally, he devised this thing. He made a prototype. Flex bought it, and then the Aurora is the first radio that they've come out with. And so the Aurora is the same size as like a 6600 or an 8600, if you've ever seen that same exact case. But with the Class E amplifier stuff, they're able to put out 500 watts. And not only are you able to put out 500 watts, it draws like 650 watts, right? So it's pretty efficient. And so if you've used the Flex, the Aurora is the exact same, except it does way more power.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, the technology. Did you guys do anything like Windlink or non-standard digital modes or anything like that while you were out there?
I did some.
Yes, I did slow scan television.
Nice. Throwing out some memes, some hot Bouvet Island memes.
I did, and I was hoping that they would show up on those like automatic decoders, but I mean, we're so far away. Like I just did not. And then I tried to do like one of the DX capable ones, but the amps were like not liking it. So I was like, okay, it's not happening.
What am I looking at with the circle that says 3Y0K and has everybody's name and call sign on it? Is this like
that's the QO100 dish?
Ah, it's the dish. Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah, we signed it and gave it back to Wolfgang.
That's awesome.
It's his personal dish, and of course he couldn't come, unfortunately, because of the delay. So I bet he's happy for it, though.
I'm looking at a video of you. Multiple people standing out. Is this like sleet, rain, frozen rain that you're getting pelted with?
It's ice. It's ice pellets. So it's like what do they call it? There's a term for it, and I can't remember.
No. Like sleet or
So just
like
above sleet is ice pellets, and there's a weird name for it, and I can never remember it. So I got a weird name, but that's Regin. No, sorry, that's Alex and the Italian guy. I think. Don.
No, that's not the Italian guy. I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I I think it's Don, and then Alec,
Yeah.
and then Stian.
That's crazy.
I think that's Sean. That's Neil.
Yes, yes, Grapple. Who said Grapple?
A couple people in chat, and I just voiced it.
Yes, Grapple. That's the term. Yes.
How often did you get pelted with stuff like that?
All the time. Like basically in the morning, it would start as snow, then it'd go to grapple, then sleet, then rain, and back.
It's like you're getting
And
hit with
it
rocks.
hit like a shotgun, you know. It came. It's like this katabatic or karabatic winds, you know. It falls down from the glacier, you know, and within a couple of seconds, it went from 8 knots to 40 knots, and the wind plummet, boom, and then, you know, caught off guard, you're shit out of luck.
It's like you're literally getting hitting with like rocks, right?
Yeah, so we brought goggles, and I wore mine a few times. Usually, like if it was that grapple and it was blowing really hard, I'd wear my goggles.
That's crazy.
But
the best way I can describe it,
in
Josh,
Montana, that's normal.
The best way I can describe grapple is it's big, heavy, hard hail. It's intense. It's like a snowstorm, but hail sized.
It's like sharp hail. It's like instead of a little smooth round ball, it's just like sharp and it hurts.
Yeah. Man. Wow. So you guys have a talk coming up at Hamvention, right? Y'all gonna be doing a talk, right? Am I?
Yeah, so it's actually quite smart. You know, we've sort of divided and conquered. You know, with all. I mean, I've had to start keeping a calendar from everybody that is like, oh, hey Max, you want us to talk about Bouvet for my club meeting or whatever? And it's not these big major conventions, obviously, yeah. And so we have 2 of our guys from the trip, Dennis Kilo Tango 8 X-Ray and Bob W9AP. Took the lead, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll run the Hamvention presentation." But yeah, it's at Hamvention. It's part of the DX forum. I forget what day it is, but maybe Saturday. And yeah, so they'll be there. I think James and I and everybody else that was on the trip, we'll try to be there as well. But yeah.
Very cool. Well, if I don't see you there, I'll see you at the Hope Hotel and on the floor too, because I will be hanging out. All right, anybody else in the Discord with questions for everybody here?
Mine's not a question, but can I say something quickly?
Sure, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm very new to amateur radio, and it's just absolutely inspiring seeing everything that you guys have done. And I just wanted to say it's really cool, and I look up to you guys, and one day I would like to do a trip like that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, there's a... Go ahead. Sorry, Max, you're going to say something?
No, I was going to say, it's more possible than you think. I think a lot of people, maybe rightfully so, I don't know, they see these DXPeditions as like, you know, whether it's the hardest thing to ever do in their life or as this like unobtainium, oh, one day I'd like to go do it. But I mean, I don't know, you can just kind of, you know, I'm privileged to say it, but I mean, there's 340 DX entities all around the world. I mean, you can fly to most of them. They don't have to be, you know, miserable, you know, 2 weeks of camping and 2 weeks of boat travel. You know, you can do stuff like, you know, from VK, you can go out to like Chatham Island, or you can go out to Lord Howe, you can go out to Christmas or Cocos Keeling. You know, all these places you'll get pretty big pileups and you know, and you'll have fun.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good way to look at it, Max, is obviously Bouvet is kind of, I was joking earlier, like the World Series of DXPeditions, but there's a ton of places that you could just vacation at for like a week. That is a rarer DX entity, as Max pointed out on the live stream. Everything has a DX entity, and you just need to find one that's a little bit rare, and then maybe that's where you think about having a vacation. And it might be a little bit, you know, roughing it, if you will, but you will be popular. You'll be popular on the bands, assuming you can you can put up some decent antennas and whatnot, then you'll have fun.
Absolutely, yeah. The top 50, no problem. They're all gonna incur immense pileups.
Yeah.
Even more than top 50, probably, most likely.
That's a good way to look at it, is maybe just go to the DX entity, like the top DX, desired DX, and just sort them by like the top 50 and then figure out
Or even
geographically
100.
where you're at.
Probably
Even the top
100 as well.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
And
You're going to have more QSOs than you can ever dream of working anyway.
I think everybody does need, if you are going to do something like that, though, then you should do a little bit of publicizing your journey and let the internet know, if you will, that you're going to be at some of these locations so that people will be on the lookout for you. And then once you get enough information out, then they will start following you, and you will get the traffic that you're looking for. I think that's what a lot of folks do.
Yeah, if I can step in, Max, question for you.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
If I remember correctly, Max, what did you say your max rate was as PJ2 stroke N4ML, just warming up for PJ2 Tango?
Yeah, somewhere in the like 175 to 100 range on SSB. And that's not even a rare entity. It's just, you're there.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, that's kind of like just the idea. Like, you go to a Caribbean island and just vacation down there for 2 weeks, just running, whatever you bring with you, and you're guaranteed to pile up. And that was with them with a world-class station, so.
You've sold me. Caribbean island in my future, just to go do a vacation. Tell the wife, take the kids, go have some fun, and I'll just work a pile up. That'd be great. I would love that.
Not a question, but one thing to add, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Just from someone who has been down to, for not radio reasons, for professional reasons, but who has been to Bouvet and Crozet and Tristan da Cunha and who understands what it really takes to get there, the logistics, everything. I know you guys understand this, but from the community, thank you. You are appreciated. The efforts are appreciated. And glad you guys have fun. But just, I think y'all deserve to hear it from somebody who understands what it takes. You guys are, thank you.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
I agree.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Very much.
Yeah.
There were definitely some hours there where I was going, like, I fucking hate this. Sorry for swearing, but I was like, I'm going to stick with this, but this is so miserable that I was like, what am I doing?
At first day maybe, or second day?
Yeah. The first day where the rain was blowing in sideways through the tent, and basically we had no internet, we had nothing. We did, like, none of our gear was there. We were just in a tent making stuff to do,
Just not dying.
Not dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was that first day was pretty miserable, yeah. But looking back, it was amazing still,
That's awesome. Yeah, no,
Question, you guys hear me?
Persevered.
I heard question. Go ahead, question.
Yeah, my question was, I saw them post beforehand that they were going to use like a DQRM procedure, basically where they rode through the pileup and run simplex. I never noticed them actually doing it. Did they decide that it wasn't necessary, or because I thought it was a really cool idea to kind of curb the old radio police?
I would defer to the expedition leaders on that. I don't like, it was generally, it was left up to the individual operators, but the decision or the idea of the DQRM thing was, from that. And then because it was left up to individual operators, a lot of us just didn't do it. I don't know if anybody in the end did or not.
I don't think so. I didn't, at least. No, I did not.
No, yeah. I think it was a valiant idea. So actually, For some context there, DQRM is such a big problem that the Northern Cal DX Foundation has a $100,000 bounty out for somebody that can produce a solution to DQRM on DXPeditions. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like what worked the most.
Wait, hold on. What was that bounty for?
To solve delivery QRM. But I think Reagan and James can add on to this.
Can you send me that? It's 10-0.
Guys. Yeah, sure. That working guys at a high rate was almost as effective as any sort of strategy we would have employed, because nobody stays around forever. And so if you just work the guys, even if they're annoying or whatever, they just go away. And then you can work the weak guys, or when you call for North America, they actually, listen. So I don't know.
So help me out, because isn't the fact you guys are working split and you have access to like a waterfall, as kind of James talked about on the live stream, you just jumped around until you found the right people to make contacts with?
But that's from our side, right? Like what people would do is they would QRM where the other people were listening to us, and that was more effective than, trying to QRM an entire pileup.
Oh, they are QRMing your transmit frequency is what you're saying.
Yeah. So actually an interesting thing I was doing on FT8 is I would because of Starlink, I would either remote into my own station or I would remote into other, web SDRs. And then I would look at how the band looked in certain areas. And sometimes I'd see like QRM right on top of the frequency, but it was pretty narrow. And I would just shift my TX frequency, and then they would move, but it would take them a while. And I would just keep bouncing around, like within, I don't know, like I'd move like 300 hertz, like in FT8, and immediately Pileup going again, and then they'd QRM again, and I'd move, and it just was like, it really, it worked well for me anyway.
How often did you have to move like that?
I would say it didn't happen very often, but when they were following me like that, and I would just bounce around, they would give up after, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or whatever, because I'd keep moving and they weren't being effective. So they just give up.
Man, these are all people that need to get punched in the face. I don't know how to say, I don't know how to
Believe
say
it or
other than
not,
that.
there's a lot of them.
I mean, the technology that exists, well, not technology, there's plenty of ways to get around it. Like, oh yeah, we'll all go spread spectrum. But the way that a lot of our applications work and everything, it's like, yeah, sure, it's apt for QRMing, so that sucks. It sucks big time.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much on the island, at least while we were operating. Every once in a while you could hear somebody tuning up on our transmitting frequency, but for the most part we couldn't hear them. We only heard the most powerful stations up in the pile. But looking now on YouTube on guys putting up videos, seeing how bad the DQRM was, it's, if I'd known that while I was on the island, I'd been pretty down at least.
Yeah, I bet.
That's kind of why I brought it up, because it really is a problem listening from here. So it would be, I just thought that it was a cool idea that I'd like somebody to try eventually, because it would be nice to kind of get these guys to give up on this thing that they do.
There's not really a way to fix that.
We were just pushed through, and you I really didn't notice it too much on our end, at least. You pick the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. You're just in wrecking in the QSOs, and you have to try once or twice or three times before you get it. Well, then it is what it is, because we knew we were coming in weak, especially to the US. We're fairly weak in the US. Europe was, of course, much easier. It's much closer, and to Japan was easy too. But yeah, we just crack on and take the next guy, the strongest guy.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a way around that, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying thanks a lot for coming back to my question.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
My personal take on it, right, is that if there is somebody DQRMing, they're going to have areas where their signal skips over whatever. And so those people might still be like, if the pileup is going and we're working people, like kind of Regin is saying it, we just work the people we hear. And if there's a big pileup, we just keep working. And so maybe, people that were trying to receive us were being affected, but they were being affected by like one guy or two guys or whatever. But as long as we didn't perceive a like a dip in rate, we just kept going.
Right.
I know one of the things that I noticed, especially with an antenna that wasn't working, I had to budget about $1,000 of RHR in order to work you guys. But when I had my antenna, like, because I have a fixed dipole, a lot of what I was hearing for DQRM was east-west from me and FN31, so it was a lot of EU especially. So, I mean, have at it what you will, but it seemed like especially the EU guys, more so than US guys, and the DX, the whatever you want to call it, the operations of like listening. I feel like those played into effect a lot more than people realize.
Just so I understand, did you say you spent $1,000 on remote ham radio to make a contact with Bouvet?
I budgeted for 1,000 and used about 500. Yeah.
How many bands?
I hope you managed to work us.
Oh yeah, 12 times. I can't complain.
12 times.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, no,
we're totally worth it.
Yeah, no, it turns out that at the end of the day, I knew I have a fixed dipole northeast, southwest. I can't just change that overnight just based off of my land lineup, as much as Max tells me I need a tower at my house. But yeah, I wound up actually remoting into Jonesport quite a lot to work you guys. So I was actually working you guys from Maine downwards. And so once you had like a tower with a lot of gain in the right direction, a lot of the DQRM disappeared. But on my local station, pointing northeast, southwest, a lot of it was a DQRM from Europe.
Yeah, when I was mentioning like the rowdiness of the EU pileups, like, I mean, it's like even in contests, like I noticed this, but like being the DX and it's even rowdier. Like and it's a real shame that the EU is like that, because when we would work North America or JAs, it was much more orderly. It's just like, it's like a culture thing.
Yeah, I just know specifically Italy stations were probably the worst. And I don't mean any offense towards Italians as a whole. It just seemed like
it's fine. Be offensive.
It was always Italian stations that were just like on, and then even then, and it was a pileup on a pileup too, because it was like one Italian station would start transmitting on the DQRMing, and they'd be like, they're working split, and then the split police jump in, and then you can't hear them on top of the guy DQRMing. It's like, come on, guys.
So, by the way, we're not saying all Italians, but if the common denominator is that the DQRM that you were hearing was Italian stations, then just call it out. It's fine. Just say it. It's totally okay to just say like, hey, guys, you need to calm down a little bit. You will get the contact, but we gotta be a little bit more methodical.
So at one point, I feel like I had tamed an Italian pileup, and I really had to bulldog them. And I was like, I'd call a station out that I could hear it. I say, I am not going to work you, and I'm not going to work you for the next 10 minutes because you interrupted. And I said, anybody else that does that, same thing's going to happen. And within, 30 minutes, like I actually kind of had it tamed down, and I got that photo of that run rate was actually on a European pileup with Italians in it. That crazy run rate. Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to quite a lot of your guys' DXPedition, just like either remotely or SDRs. And I have to admit, the operators that were the most aggressive in taming that, saying, hey, I'm not going to work you. Calm down. I'm not going to work you for 10 minutes. I'm only calling for NA. Those guys were the ones that actually, to me, sounded like they got more contacts worked. So I appreciate that from a operator on the, non-DX side of things. Like, thank you for being aggressive in that aspect.
It's super funny that you mentioned that, because I was able to work you guys on 12-meter single sideband from here in Pennsylvania with 100 watts. And the guy was calling for North America. He told the Europeans, I'm not going to work you. And he just yelled out on 68. And I went up because it was a frequency like outside of the standard split. And I went there and I was able to get through. So whoever actually
That might have been me.
made the contact for me personally happened.
I did that a lot. I would call, and then I would immediately say North America, and then I'd give a specific frequency or something, and then I would keep pretending like I was working the other pilot. So I was almost like lying to the pileup, but they would start calling back, and I would just say North America, this frequency only.
So yeah, you definitely made a contact happen for me specifically. So thank you so much.
So you heard it here
Nice.
first. The best way to tame the Italian QRM is to put them in timeout. Timeout.
It works.
I mean, as a whole, just calling out bad operator behavior seemed to work really well, at least for the.
I disagree. I say revoke the license. It's easier.
I don't logistically. I don't think it's easier at all. But I understand the fervor. I understand the aggression. I know where you're coming from. But like, how do you prove it? How do you prove it?
But I mean, as a whole, like just having operators on the DX side of the house that are willing to step up and say, "Hey, chill out. I'm going to work the guys I'm going to work because the path's open for them specifically." Those are the guys that I appreciate the most because, again, you have to call out bad behavior and then actually hold to it. You can't be one of those operators that says, "I'm not going to work you," and then the second they get stepped on, work them just to get them out of the way. That just reinforces the bad behavior. So thank you again, people like you. Yeah, James, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good job.
But what you just said there is that calling it out, but then slipping and then working them, and then it just rewards that behavior. So my thing is absolutely never. I will never ever bend the knee. I don't care how loud they are. I will just work around them.
This is literally how you teach toddlers how to behave, like what we're talking about right now. Everybody understand that, right? Like as a parent, you're like, these are all the things we did with our young children to make them be a human being. That's really funny to me.
Say, I acknowledge you're calling me, but you're not in my log until I say you're in the log. So
I hear you. Your feelings are important, but until you decide to behave like a human being, I am not going to respond to your demands. That is literally how we talk to toddlers.
So 3-year-olds are internet trolls, basically.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Keyboard warriors.
Just. Hey, and that's the way to look at YouTube comments and all the negative publicity and all that stuff. Is they're just toddlers. They're just toddlers with keyboards.
I mean, to be fair though, there is a polite way to call them out, and there's also I've seen DXPeditions with operators that have called them out in a bad way, and it just gets worse. So, being polite and courteous, yet, hey, if you guys tame yourselves and follow what I'm saying, will actually work out, and then work them if they fall in line or they actually start working split, whatnot. That seems to be also a different, a different animal. So
I hear what you're saying.
There's a polite way to call people out. Still.
I hear what you're saying, James. But literally everything about how you work with toddlers will work in this case. I'm thinking about taking one of the books on dealing with toddlers, like parenting, whatever, and submitting that as how we deal with DQRM for the bounty, because that's literally what it is you act like an adult, you behave as an adult, you speak in a monotone, tone, and you talk to them and be like, I understand your concerns, I understand your feelings, but the way you're behaving right now is not going to get you what you want. What you want is that sweet, sweet, juicy QSO. I will not give you that sweet, sweet, juicy QSO until you behave like an adult. So I'm putting you in timeout right now. And no, it's not negotiable. You're going to be on a 10-minute timeout. I'm setting a timer right now. And yes, it's going to tick in the background. You'll be able to hear it. And then when it's done, you can try again and see if you can behave yourself. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. And then that's literally how you deal with toddlers. Josh. That's literally how you deal with toddlers.
Hi,
Josh.
So, when you're referring to like the kids like acting like 2-year-olds, I like to refer if I know the age of the individual, I'll go like you're 30 years old and you're acting like a deranged 2-year-old. Like figure it out. I won't talk to you until you figure it out, and so forth.
That's really funny. Well, there you go. We figured it out. I'm willing to accept my Ed McMahon sized novelty check for the bounty. Please bring it to my door. Go ahead, question.
Yeah, no, this is a little bit of a tangent from the radio stuff, even though that's what we're all here for. But best food along the trip. I mean, you guys
that's
crossed
a great question.
You guys crossed a large area. Like, what was your best food that you had? And I mean, I'll count anything from you walked out the front door to when you made it back.
How about this? I'm going to tell you what the worst food was, because there was a lot of good food in Cape Town, but oh my God, we had the worst food on the ship and on the island, like Norwegian MREs. It's not like, I don't know. It's like I eat a lot of Mountain House, like backpacking in the U.S., and I love Mountain House, but oh my God, the Norwegian backpacking food, not my favorite. They had like reindeer stew. That was like one of the worst.
Ooh.
They had these terrible protein bars that we ate a ton of. And then the food on the ship was just absolutely terrible. We all got like salmonella or something from that. And the ship doctor had to give us antibiotics.
Put those tablets in his pocket, you know.
Yeah.
Man, that is surprising. I would expect at least the ship food to be pretty good, but wow.
No, I mean, it was basic. It was just like everything was super overcooked. Like they'd have like strip steaks, but they were just like all well done, and like there'd be sausage in the morning, but it'd just be like so burned. So I was, oh God, yeah,
we don't need to bring up bad memories here.
So I just remember every food, like during the trip that was outside of being on the ship and on the island, just tasting so good that everything was amazing.
Yeah, when we got back, and I had sushi when we got back, and I was like, man, this tastes a lot better than it did when I, before this.
It reset your palate. The DS.
We got pizza delivery on the island. That was a very nice, something very, very different from the norm on Bouvett, and it wasn't half bad.
Oh yeah, the pizza delivery. So there was a weather window, and we didn't need to fly any other equipment to the island. So they called the chef and said, "Hey, can you make a pizza and fly it over here?" And they said, "Yeah."
Oh.
Bouvet Domino's. That's wow.
A new one. I didn't know about a pizza delivery. That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, probably the most expensive pizza delivery ever.
Right.
It's like one of those like Alaska like Iditarod pizzas.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I love hearing about like, especially when people travel to all these crazy locations, like hearing about all the crazy food that they get to try like along the way, and like the best and the worst. I always find it fun.
Okay, so there were two other weird foods that we had. So there was a local guy, he was a helicopter mechanic, and he's a hunter, and he made his own biltong. Yeah, that was amazing. And then we also had fermented Greenland shark from Iceland.
You had Sostroming?
No. Fermented Greenland shark.
Oh, skate.
Separate.
This is like the oh God, what's it called? The fermented shark is a name.
Fermented shark in Icelandic. Yeah.
Wait, is that the one where they bury it in the ground?
Lutefisk? Is it lutefisk?
That's Norwegian. That's Norwegian.
Okay.
Not the same.
But it's stuck in the bar that when we tried it, we had some booze and Goodman brought some of this fermented shark, and it stunk up the place pretty bad.
But you eat it with, you have to drink booze, right? You have to drink with it, pretty much, right?
I think that's the custom nowadays.
What is the alcohol you drink with it?
It's just fire water basically.
Just vodka.
But
Just
anyway,
vodka.
no, fire water. It's some local Icelandic, vodka type alcohol.
So it's like moonshine. It's
a
clear
little bit stronger.
moonshine.
Yeah, this is the stuff where when they're preparing this, you dig a hole and you literally let it ferment in a hole. I thought that's what this was.
Okay, so when I ate it, I didn't take it with alcohol. I thought it had a good taste. Like it kind of was like a really, really sharp blue cheese, like a really stinky blue cheese. Had this like almost like a spicy taste like in your mouth. And it was like a good texture. It was like, it wasn't hard, it wasn't soft. It was like just like a good texture. The smell was terrible though, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, the proper name of it is Aftterchaat is the name. Fermented Greenland shark. It's generally 4 to 5 months fermented before it's eaten.
I'm gonna have to add that back on the list of things to try. I kind of qualified that up there with like surströmming, where it's like, don't ever try this. Just like save yourself.
It was like 50-50 on the boat. One Icelandic, he could eat it, and the other one, he didn't like it at all. Bouvet, he didn't want. He left the bar when Gudmund brought it up to the bar. He took off.
Yeah, and
That's
not
awesome.
really not really a bad food or drink item, but it was just kind of funny. We had all this juice from the boat. It'd be like orange juice or apple juice or grape juice or whatever. But you look at the ingredients, and they were all the same. So it'd be like orange juice also contains grape juice, apple juice, pineapple juice, etc. And it was all from Libya. And I didn't take Libya to be some massive exporter of juice. But
Juice, juice magnate of Libya. I love it.
That's awesome. Like I said, I love hearing about all that stuff. I appreciate it.
Seals on the island. They would not allow us to kill any seals and eat them. But in worst case, we would not die of starvation if shit really hit the fans.
Yeah, so James mentioned before we went live that there was a beer that they had on the boat that he became familiar with. It's Glol, or what was the name of it, James?
Well, it's free beer, so we liked it a lot.
Wait, I thought it was pronounced Gulk or something.
Gulk.
Not Gulk.
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. Say it again.
Gutl.
Gutla. Close?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gold, basically gold beer.
Oh, gold beer. Gold. Okay, Gutla. Okay, got it. Okay. Interesting. So there
it was free, so we drank a lot of it.
It was expired, and the ship captain was like, "I got to throw this out. Do you want to drink it?" I said, "Sure, I'll take all the cases."
He couldn't get the crew to drink it if he paid them to drink it.
Oh, the crew was like, "No, thank you." The Norwegian crew was like, "No, we're not drinking this."
They're Muslim, many of them, so they don't didn't drink the alcohol. So he was happy to get a few cases out of the bonded storage.
You decrease the weight of the entire ship. That's good. Positive. Man.
Good question for you guys. Are any of you also going on Peter the First next year? And if so, is there anything you learned from Bouvet this year that you plan to change or carry over to Peter the First next year?
I would if I had the time off. And based on what I know about Peter 1 and what I've experienced before in Antarctica, like I think it's going to be, it will definitely be colder. So that's all I could say.
Yeah, same boat.
Colder and drier too. So
yeah, no wildlife, but I'd love to take another 41 days unpaid off at work to go, but no, probably not a good idea. But no, I mean everybody on the team got a lot of great lessons learned across the whole thing for how Peter 1 will go, and so I know they're making pretty good progress on all that stuff.
There's more regulations too because it's within the Antarctic Treaty stuff, and there's a lot more regulations because it's not just Norway that's involved.
Yeah, you can't have a rave. Raves are banned. You won't be raving.
Yeah.
We did enough raving in Cape Town.
That's funny. All right. Any other questions for our intrepid crew of 3Y0K?
I have a question, but I was wanting to see if I could talk to you later after stream.
No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Ask your question, man. Here's the time. Ask your question. What's the question?
All right. So I saw it on Hamshack TV's Discord first. They were talking about Windlink on how it doesn't work on Mac. You know, like how Windlink doesn't work on Mac, like certain things aspect of it.
Okay.
All right, so I've been working on a GitHub repository with basically Wine and all the configurations and stuff, and I built a script that makes it where a lot of those apps will work, and I made a secondary module that allows the modem mode with Windlink to work on macOS. But I still need to get it tested. I verified it works on Linux, but I cannot get it verified on macOS because I do not have a macOS device currently.
Oh, so you're looking for
So I'm kind of stuck.
So
Yeah.
There's a project chat that we have on this Discord.
Yeah, I have that, but nobody responded to it.
Oh.
So it kind of just got wasted.
We might not have enough Mac users to make that work.
10-0, send me a DM. I'm good here on Discord. It's Frank, KG6.
All right, I see you.
I have Mac OS. I can help.
There you go. All right.
That did not work. Do you have DMs off?
I do not, but I'll send you one.
All right, thank you.
All right. Let's open it up for any question. By the way, I know this topic of this video. I didn't know what to expect on the after chat. That's why I threw a topic on this. I did talk about everyday carry of ham radio, so we might be able to get to that at some point. But if we don't, it's okay. It's okay. So just open questions from anyone, anywhere that's been hanging out with us and has a ham radio question they want to talk about. Go ahead. Oh, no questions. Excellent.
No questions.
No questions.
Well, it's not a question, but you know, when this is Ray in Oscar Yankee 1 Romeo, and I always thought I was fairly competent at handling a pileup, but I got somewhat of a reality check when I got my ears in the grind on Bouvet. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, so what is that? Go ahead, talk about it a little bit. I'd love to hear it.
Well, it's just, you know, Oscar Yankee, it usually incurs a pileup here on the Faroes. And so I'm no stranger to a pileup. And but just the sheer size of it and the thickness of it, you know, they were, you know, on top of each other. And it was something else, you know. It was a factor of, you know, factorial how bigger these pileups on Bouvett were. It was something else. It was out of this world, you know. So it was kind of a gut punch that those first 15 minutes while I sat down, because I was dreaming, you know, I don't know why, but you know, in the contest, you know, they do like 5, 6, 7, or 8 contacts a minute, and I was thinking, oh shit, I'll bust a pileup any day, and to realize I was only doing like 2 or 3 at times, that was something else, you know. I felt down there for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I just had to step back and take a breath and just refocus and push through. You know, it was an experience. It was a learning, or I learned something. You know, or what's it called? I had, you know, it hit hard. The fact that I couldn't handle that pileup immediately, basically. And yeah, but it was a great experience now. But in the heat of it, it was very hard for me to accept that I couldn't work more than 2 or 3 stations a minute.
What was
But,
what was your mode of operations? What were you primarily operating on?
I did mostly phone.
Mostly phone.
Yes, and they lured me to some FT8 while the bands were down. So FT8 and phone, and a little bit of CW as well, but not very much. So phone.
Did you increase your rate? I'm assuming you had to increase your rate significantly from the start to the finish, right?
Yeah, of course I did immediately.
Of course,
but
yeah.
I didn't. I didn't realize how bad it was because I didn't look at the rates at all. I just happened to bring or this window was up on N1MM log.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use this log normally, and I saw my rates and I thought, holy shit, what's going on here? And of course, I realized it was because the pileup was so big I couldn't hear anyone. It was the first day on I believe it was 12 meters, and we had good conditions. And yeah, it was somewhat of an epiphany, or I don't know how to express myself in English, but it hit hard. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, no, your message is coming across, no problem. Yeah, I think I can only live vicariously through the stories, right, and the understanding of just what kind of a challenge this was. And at the end of the day, all of this logistics and struggle and food and sleeping and bathrooms and all of that, like all the complexity, everybody watching, right? I hope you understand that at the end of the day, this is to get in on a radio and make a contact with people. And what makes it so interesting to me is that it's in one of the most remote locations on the entire planet. And then on that island of Bouvet, there's not a real good place to set up camp where you aren't half your signals getting blocked by this mountain and it's all lava rock, and so it's a nightmare. Like, it is literally the most inhospitable place to do radio contacts. And the best places to actually live are places where you not the best place to put up an antenna for signals. But if you put them up any higher, they'll get knocked down by the wind because the wind's insane. So the more I learn, and from all of you that actually went there and are sharing your stories with us, the more I understand it's like, God, you guys, you have to understand how like monumental these actual DXPeditions are to this island, because it's an absolute hellhole for radio operation. It desires to kill radio operations. That is what it wants to do, and we just all got to have better like respect and patience with the people that actually try to go there, because it's just insane. It's insane. So thank you all. You really, it's an amazing effort that you guys did.
Will you take one more question?
Oh, I mean, we're here to do questions, so yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so it hasn't come up, and if you don't want to talk about it, I'm totally cool with it. But I have to say,
here we go. No, I'm just kidding.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yes, give it.
Yes, the intrigue, the entertaining yet irritating yet interesting. It was like a show on MTV. The controversy of the boat, where the boat was, and I mean, following that, and then what was interesting is following that, because I got nothing else to do, and yet the way it pulled off was nothing like the so-called experts were portraying. And I went to them afterwards and I said, hey, let's have an after-action report from you guys, from you jokers, about how off you were on everything, because everything they said that was going to happen didn't even come close to happening.
Do you have an example?
And I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Like, what's an example of like one of this? Or James, you already
okay,
know where he's going.
yeah. Okay, so So there were a lot of things that were being said. They would take something like a photo or something, that was out there in the public. Maybe some of it was even from the expedition, but then they would come up with their own theory of how it wasn't legal or whatever, and that there was no way this was going to happen. And so they were taking like a small minute of information and then coming up with this long bullshit story of what they thought it meant. And, we couldn't say anything during the whole time. Like we kind of were in we were reading it and just laughing, but, we couldn't respond to it. And I don't think we should have, it's like one of those things like don't respond to internet trolls.
Yeah.
But every single time they would say something, and then I was like, well, that's not true, and we're going to prove them wrong. And then as soon as we prove them wrong, they'd have some other theory that would pop up, and it was just like, but nobody was calling them out on that. So thank you. If somebody finally called them out on being wrong the whole time, because that's what that guy's MO is. He's always wrong, and nobody ever calls him out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you...
I just felt, he was going on giving schematics of the ship and saying that it was no way it was suitable for that type of aircraft. He had the aircraft tail number. The guy I just wish he got a life, but I got to tell you, it was mesmerizing to just keep following it.
What is this in the service of? What is this in the service of? That it didn't actually happen? What's the point?
No. It wasn't like lunar controversy, conspiracy.
Is the Earth
guys.
flat now? Is the Earth flat?
Yeah. It wasn't flat earther. He was doing it in the name of safety, and he was saying things like they don't have a doctor, people can die. He was all about trying to drum this up as safety, and it just, I guess everything great has some kind of controversy attached to it. It has to, and people were ringing their cash register on that. But those guys, they needed to answer. They really did need to answer. I'm glad you guys weren't affected by it, and you guys were totally cool about how you handled it, your representatives, and just let it go into dead air. But it was mesmerizing.
So this guy, we're not the only DXPedition he does this to. Like there's lots of other ones he does it to. Like more recently, I can't remember, it was like ZS8 something, I forget. And this same guy tried to get him canceled. And that's his thing, is he's not just saying this stuff, but he's actually going out and contacting entities and trying to get these DXPeditions shut down. That's the actual really bad thing about it. And so he did this to the ZS8 whatever guy, and that guy actually just went internet silent and just because he was getting so much from the guy, he just showed up, worked a ton of contacts, and then just never said anything online. And I think that's the way to deal with them, to be honest. But
it's also one of those things where it's good that, it sounds like the community kind of, read through the lines, but you kind of have to let logic prevail, right? It's, would a helicopter charter company that, has licenses and, to do all this stuff, would they agree to go on a charter on a boat that doesn't fit the aircraft that they have? Would they then, or would the boat company, say, yeah, we can put this boat, or we can put this aircraft on this boat, no problem, if that wasn't actually the case, right? None of the pieces would have ever lined up if anything that, these people or this guy was saying were true, right? So...
Yeah, he caused a lot of headache, for the leadership team. He caused a whole heap of headache and sleepless nights and extra work. But of course,
I'm sorry. Because the few negative comments or the few pushbacks he got online, and I'm not talking about from your organization, I'm talking about just regular people, seemed to fuel him up more. So I just patiently waited, and when I saw you guys pull this thing off, and I mean, nothing was remotely similar to what he was claiming. And he did say he contacted people and so forth. But the fact that it wasn't even remotely is just amazing.
So here's the thing,
the effort
right?
he put into to trying to scuttle us was, pretty mind-boggling.
Okay, and this is an area where I am acutely knowledgeable about, is that the internet allows people to reach you in ways that, like, to almost the attune of like being able to pick up a phone and calling you, and they often will get support from their loony ideas, but at the end of the day, if you're working with professionals and those professionals have all of their insurance and wherewithal and experience, then some idiot commenter on a Facebook should not garner any of your time. They should not be allowed to rob you of any of your presence of doing the thing that you set out to do, where you've already worked through the real logistics of solving that problem. And so all you have to do is, we're working with professionals, they're duly appointed, and they have all their insurance in place, and we have all the safety of the crew in mind, and that's it. That's all you have to say. You don't have to reply to the dummy trolls, because they're morons. They're doing it for attention. If they could, so again, take the mindset of a person who takes the time to make these kinds of comments and spend their own time to go off and research it. They could go do their own DXPedition. They could become a part of a crew of a DXPedition, but they can't because they have social problems that prevent them from doing it. So you just leave them alone. You don't give them any energy. Don't give them anything that will blow them up, because that's exactly what they want, because that's all they can do. They're hoping for that. They're yearning. They're yearning for you to acknowledge them. And the best thing you do is just ignore their dumbasses. That's it.
Of course, we tried to ignore them, or we did, most of us, I guess. But who could not ignore them was the institutes. These individuals, they managed to contact national authorities, and and then they forward questions to our leadership, and they have to, they got a lot of headache, and had to navigate, of course, respond to this when for example, when the South African port authorities had questions, they had to respond, and when the Norwegian authorities had questions, they had to respond and find whatever certificates were needed. And so he did cause a lot of grief, but in the end, it didn't do him any good. It didn't do us any good, but but there was basically nothing to come after in the end.
Yeah, I do.
As Max and James said, nobody's gonna charter $1 million ship if if you don't have a certificate to go to the south, or if you don't have a doctor or whatever. So
so I understand that. Like, if they're crazy enough to reach out to the authorities of the countries that are sponsoring the island and the crew that the ship is coming out of, that's a certain kind of crazy, right? I feel like I would handle it that way too. Like, if I was communicating with the Norwegian country and South America, I'd be like, hey, the internet be wild. Here's our paperwork. We've already worked through all of this. This is what I've got. This is what we've done. This is where we're going. And I'm sure that's exactly how you guys handled it.
And up north, it was fairly easy to manage and to avert any negative negative effects. But once you enter Cape Town in Africa, this is Africa. It's if you meet the wrong person at the wrong time, you're stuck. You're not going anywhere. So if he was lucky, he could have easily scuttled the mission.
And that's probably his goal.
That is really, really As a guy who followed this, I didn't realize the gravity of that he could do it. I just can only hope that his reputation is so blown now that he has zero credibility or impact on any future endeavors. I really do, because
I don't know why his reputation hasn't been blown, because he's done this multiple times, and his conspiracy theories that he says each time always fall apart, and it's never true. Like the Marion Island guy, like there was this long story, almost like ours, and everything he said was wrong in the end, and everything went great with the expedition. So, but nobody ever thinks about that or calls him out. Like, he just has these fanboys that just keep reading it, and like they just repeat the same things and never think that he was wrong.
Hey, when we're in Hamvention, tell me who this guy is, and if he's at Hamvention, I'm gonna go talk to him.
No, he doesn't. He's.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Of course he won't.
He lives in his.
Hey, if you're watching right now, you suck.
He lives in his mother's basement.
Of course,
and
he
probably
does.
hasn't left the room for like 4 days.
And Josh, just so you know, this is an individual who does this across the board constantly, not just to large DXPeditions, but also to those of us who travel and get to go places that not most people will either never be able to or aren't permitted to go to. This is literally, I know who they're speaking of. I'm not going to give him the time of day.
Somebody DM me who this is, so I
yeah,
know.
He does this to everybody. I mean, even when military contractors pop up on Midway or out in the Pacific, he's
Yep. I didn't get any smoke from him when I was down at the Navy Island off of California. I live streamed there.
I've dealt with him on Johnson and Midway. He's yeah.
Oh please DM me who this is. I want to know who this is.
Yeah, Matt, sounds like a person that packs out his urine.
Yeah, you.
What the?
He was fixated on that over Bouvet for a while. Once that was made.
Hey, Mark Hughes said, did you call a welfare check on him? He sounds not well.
I don't think I'd put him on blast on live stream, but I'm kind of curious to actually like research him a little bit, and if his call sign's out there, which I'm assuming it is.
Josh, you do not want this man. You do not want this man's attention. Leave it alone.
No.
I don't care.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I don't care.
The thing is, he's actually a smart guy. He's I think got like scientific credentials. Like, he's been on expeditions like as a scientist. Like, it's just a shame that he uses his time and cred to do this.
Yeah, no.
Just because he has a bunch of degrees doesn't mean he's the smartest person in the world, though.
Right.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, okay. It doesn't matter. Somebody DM me who this is, please. My DMs are not lit up from somebody. Just text it to me. To
that effect, a question for the guys and also for you, Josh, well, for any of people. Why do you think it seems becoming more and more of an epidemic? I'm not saying it's never been a problem. Clearly, it always has been. But why do you think it's becoming more and more of a problem that people are getting enjoyment out of the DQRM, out of the criticism and analysis? You know, there's POTA guys who are getting DQRM.
I know this.
What is the opinion of the group about the reason why it's becoming more profound?
It's a myriad of reasons, but go ahead. Thoughts?
Josh, I have a thing I want to share about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you go on TikTok and you search for it, you can find kids just doing these fake outs on amateur radio and playing music. They're doing it for clout. It's not. They do this just to piss people off because it gets them views.
But that's just
the simple
one.
answer.
But so you're, again, respect, right? I hear what you're saying. That's just like one particular age group, one particular like area of amateur radio.
I've noticed it to be adults too, not just kids.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So extended into like an older age range. Yeah. So honestly, like, people do a lot of stuff for clout. It sounds really dumb, but they may have like okay, to take the individual we're talking about. There are people that back him up. There are people like, oh, yeah, this is an important question. And they're doing it for that in some cases. They continue to do it because they think they have some amount of push of people behind them. They're like, oh, no, you're right. Keep pushing. Yeah, keep pushing. You'll get the right answer. And also, I think there's just this weird subculture of not trusting establishment in anything in the world, whether it's science or the people that are going to go spend a bunch of money and go to freaking Bouvet. Like, people just have this natural skeptical nature now, which I can't really be mad about it because I'm a huge skeptic. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I'm not going to disrupt somebody trying to do something when they go and put a bunch of money down. But yeah, anyway, Max, I saw Max too. You want to jump in there? Go for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a problem. I think, in a more connected society, you hear about it more. But I mean, if you go back in the history of DXPeditions, there's always been, on all sides of the thing, people complaining or trying to DQRM or do some of this other stuff or do stuff that's kind of even weirder or worse. The example that comes to mind, there's a very famous, maybe infamous DXPeditioner from the 60s, call sign W9WNV, Don Miller.
Is that Yasmi, right?
No, that's something else. Don Miller, he was this doctor. He had some ties to the CIA during the Vietnam War, and so he was able to go to some pretty cool places as like a military doctor guy. Right, he was in Cambodia when Cambodia was in the middle of a war. He was in Vietnam when it was in the middle of the war, and so he started to do this whole DXPedition thing. Right, he would go to places like Geyser Reef or Navassa, and a lot of times in this era of DXPeditioning, people would find island charts and they'd go there. Well, this guy actually didn't go to a lot of the places he said he did, and so instead of saying, oh well, yeah, I thought whatever, he actually sued the ARL in like 1967 or something like that because he was like, well, I went there, I'm mad, whatever, and so it's always been a thing, DXPeditioning being this hot topic and somewhat controversial. It's just, instead of it being on the DXPedition operator side, like it has in the past, or there's a guy, Romeo, Radio Zero, Mike Echo, Oscar, who ended up going to jail for like a massive credit card fraud sort of ring that he was involved with. Now it's, the onus is on the operators because, yeah, you can DQRM an expedition and, get a good laugh at it and hear everybody, talk about it.
I think what it is people are looking for relevance and they get it wherever they can find it sometimes. And sometimes it's someone like you, Josh, who has a very large span. You got to remember, every elected official out there, 48% of the people want to see them dead. And, when you think about it, it's people, they're looking for
48% of the people want to see me dead? God, are you telling me this right now? You're hitting me with this, Bob? Raw? Like, oh my God.
No. But you are in a unique position because you've got a successful show, you've got a very large span, and you got a lot of people who like you. And a lot of people are frankly jealous of that. They're jealous of the guys pulling this off down on Bouvet. They hate the fact that people are doing things that they can't do. And they got to find their relevance in it, and that's trying to tear it down any way they can. And that's what all of this leads to.
You're more right than you're wrong. I agree with you. I think you're right.
Well, I'm just glad to hear that,
detail.
I'm glad to hear that you don't have this problem, and it sounds like you don't, because with the hundreds of thousands of people who watch you, I mean, think about TV, right? Reviews and so forth. There are haters out there. There's always going to be, and I'm glad they're not affecting you. I really am.
No, they do affect. Well, okay. Very important point. You said they affect me. Am I affected by haters? I personally am not affected by haters. Do I have haters? Absolutely. Everybody has haters. I'm just not affected by them because I don't give them any kind of energy. If you're in a sailboat, don't give them wind. I'm not trying to give them any
perfect
fuel.
way to put it.
Like their boat only works with wind. You don't give them wind. That's all it is. They're nonsense people that don't mean anything, and they may have a fandom. Don't acknowledge the fandom. Just let them drive that boat into the sweet night. That's all. Who cares?
I'll put it this way: don't feed the trolls after midnight.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, sure, but like,
also don't feed the trolls before midnight.
yeah, just don't feed them at all. Like it's also there's all. It sounds really dumb, but there is a bit of just when you take something far enough, when it gets to the point that it is actually impacting doing something, and I think that's really what we're talking about here. Like a troll on the internet's one thing. You can block them on social media and all that stuff, but then when they start actively doing stuff, like actually impeding, the problem we have with this community, and I'm talking about amateur radio community, I'm talking about us, is that we're unwilling to just make the statement, this guy did this, here's the receipts. He did this, he did this, he did this. Here is the documents we have. It's this, this, and this. We'd really like it if this whole thing stopped right now. Hams are very apprehensive of getting into those kind of discussions. Probably it's because of the nature that we're all suitably on the spectrum. That's a little thought that I've been working on.
German or autistic?
Sure. Yes. Pick your flavor of neurodivergent spiciness. I think we're all like conflict avoidant at the end of the day in amateur radio, and there's some people who aren't, and those people have used that to get too much favor and sway in the community. And I think we just need to call them out. We just need to call out assholes. We need to put the receipts out, and then just that's it. Like, this guy did this, and he continues to do this, and he's contacting Norway, and he's contacting Cape Town, blah, blah, blah. Here's all of our paperwork. We're fully vetted. We're ready to go. Like, that's, at some point, you just got to lay all the receipts on the table and say, like, we got to move on as adults. We can't be playing these games anymore. I'm using that as an example, but yes.
So I'm really worried about the future because, like, the where we're at right now is not including, like, okay, so like live streamers and all that stuff and how they get harassed and swatted and stuff like that. And I feel like as things progress, I feel like the thing that's going on with DXPeditions now with like this guy and other stuff, that kind of behavior is just going to get worse, and it's going to become more of what is going on with live streaming, right? Where they know where somebody's going and people actively try to ruin it.
I don't understand. I guess I don't understand, and here's why. I've been out here since 2018. Every Saturday, or when I started on Fridays, live streaming. I've been doing this for years. So I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know if it's the way people are handling comments in the chat. I don't know if it's the way people are talking to people. I don't know if it's the way I don't know. I don't understand because
maybe
like,
people just love you so much that
I don't think they do. I think I got tons of people who don't like me, but then they hop in the chat and I'll argue with them. I don't have a problem just dealing with it. I'll just we'll just work it out. You don't have to like me. We'll just go, like, tell me your problems, tell me your arguments, let's handle it. But I don't know. I don't know why this happens to so many people. I don't get it.
That is an interesting case. Like, why do you not get harassed as much as other people, right?
I mean, I've had pizzas sent to my house. I've had people that have sent, like, weird messages and stuff. I have contacted the police. But, like, that's it. I just tell them, it's like, I contacted the police. I let them know what you're doing. Hey, somebody sent a pizza to my house. I sent it back. Like, that's it. And then it stops happening. So I don't get it. Grayman's got a thought here. He's also a YouTuber. So what are your thoughts, Grayman?
Well, I would say that, the type of content that we do in the amateur radio space isn't as controversial as primarily political podcasters that see a lot of the swatting and stuff like that. But I think it boils back down to jealousy and probably mental illness, or a little combination of both. And when other people are out having fun, there's just people that are hardwired to try to piss on that fun. And I run into it a lot, live streaming pod activations. I can have the frequency on the screen and I'll start getting QRM'd, whatever. I lean into it. I just continue to operate. I ignore them. Now, obviously not operating at that same level that you guys were down in Bouvet Island, but nonetheless, I don't let them bother me. I just lean into it and keep operating and just operate over the top of them.
That's the way. That's it.
Yeah.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
For anybody out there who does the YouTube thing, it can be hard to separate out, because for whatever reason, we're psychologically hardwired to listen to the haters more than the lovers, right? You can get 100 good comments and one bad comment, and it will ruin your night.
Count the misses and not the hits, Mark. That's
yeah.
it. Yeah, don't count the misses. Always count the hits. Talk to your fans, not your haters.
Yeah, so, I mean, when you think about it, try to separate the emotion from the logic. Never accept criticism from somebody you wouldn't go to for advice.
Oh, banger. Yes. Yes.
So that's all. Just my
That's
thought.
Great. Mark, slide it. Dude, great comment. Great
Hey,
comment.
Mark.
Yeah, Tim.
I love you, man.
I love you, Tim.
And Mark's right, but the thing I was more getting at is the point where it's not just criticism, where it is becoming, I've been around ham radio my entire life, literally since the day I was born, and I've seen some people who really need to lay off, but
yeah,
it seems like lately, over the past 5 years or so, from my perception at least, that it's becoming more obstructive to the point where it's preventing certain operation, and where these individuals are taking it off the radio to things like what the Bouvett group is speaking of. And that's more what my question was. I cannot understand doing what they're doing to the point of obstructionism and messing with people's lives. That's just weird. That's
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look at society right now with the social media stuff, where people are calling each other's jobs and getting people in trouble at their jobs. Like, is ham radio so disconnected from the microcosm of society where that's happening? No, not at all. So that's just.
You would think it should be, though.
Well, yes, but then it's not. Like, ham radio is just a subset of humanity. And if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, right? So that's why people are doing this kind of stuff, because they have the ability to do it. And when people have the ability, of course, they're going to do it. So here's the thing, right? I now see this guy's call sign. I see who this person is. You take all those things, like here's a lesson learned from Bouvet, right? Is take all his arguments. Literally, this is what I would do. Someone so invested in future DXPeditions, take all of his arguments. Literally, go write them down. I haven't really spent much time talking about my little e-ink tablet, but this has been it's changed my life. This e-ink tablet. I would sit down, I'd write down all those bullet points, and then I would make sure that that's on my website for whatever the next DXPedition is. I would answer all his criticisms right up front. Will he come out with new ones? Yeah, absolutely. But just take the wind out of the sails, going back to my sailboat comment. If you know his game plan, because he spilled the guts on his game plan, then just take the wind out immediately. Just provide everything. Be completely open kimono about everything. Everything's in the open. Here's everything. Nothing is hidden. Then there's no problem. There's no problem.
It's the
That's
open
me, though.
source software approach.
It's the open source software approach of DXPeditions. That's all we want. That's all we want. Once we get those Lenovo's running Linux, we've really gotten there, guys. Have we fully like gotten off the rails completely, kids? Are we where are we at?
Yeah.
I apologize for starting a therapy session.
No,
but
it's a good question. James and Max, how you doing?
All right. So now I kind of, like, what about the flat earthers? Like, what did they think about Bouvet?
Oh, that's a good one,
What
man.
did they think, James? Did you get any flat earthers in the queues?
Okay. I mean, I don't know about in the queues, but I do have flat earthers that have denied that I've been to Antarctica before. And
did you
Bouvet
link
now.
them to the final experiment? Do you know about the final experiment?
No, what's the final
Oh
experiment?
my God, James! I'm so happy I get to share this with you. Okay. All right, James, I want you to go to the internet, to YouTube, and look up the final experiment Antarctica. So there was a Baptist pastor, I think he might be from Texas, got a lot of money, right? I think he ended up like a software company, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, I'm going to pay a ton of money to just take flat earthers, like internet creator flat earthers, and like flat earth debunkers on a plane, and we're all going to Antarctica to see the 24-hour sun. And they did it, and they proved it. 24-hour sun with a 24-hour live stream showing the sun. The final experiment, the flat earth, is debunked. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah, it was December 2024. It was Will Duffy. And,
Will Duffy,
he took
yeah.
Yeah, he took 50 creators down there, and the scientific community thought it was the greatest joke.
Amazing.
It was free comedy. It was free comedy. It was great.
It was great. Fantastic.
I would love to hear the cope, because like us ham radio people,
cope is crazy.
We deal with this all the time. We would love for it to be flat. We would love for nothing else for it to be flat.
Yeah, we'd all be running VHF and UHF with a really, really high tower. We'd be DXing, baby. I just, you know what's crazy is that like the flat earthers never really dip into radio, because once they look into it, they're like, oh crap, our arguments are dead. They won't work. And the satellites back us up too.
There's too much math here.
There's too much math. We got to get out of here.
You know,
how about the lunar conspiracy theorists?
Oh, that we didn't go?
Exactly. There's a lot there too. It's the same sort of thing.
But with lunar stuff, like none of us have ever been there, right? But like on the Earth, we deal with the curve of the Earth every day as radio operators. So like it's easy for us to like experience it, but you know, I don't disagree with that we landed on the moon, but like I could see why somebody might not agree, you know, or not believe.
Well, I think oftentimes I say that the flat Earth is like the mothership conspiracy, like because if flat Earth is like the first step on many levels of conspiracies, because once you believe that, then anything becomes possible. We didn't go to the moon. Satellites don't exist. The firmament, all that stuff. Like it opens all the doors. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real is one of my favorite jokes. I make that joke all the time in like popular, like civil communities. I just tell people like, yeah, birds aren't real. I love getting to play like a like hardcore conspiracy theorist by just telling people like in random conversation when they bring up birds. I'm like, you know, birds aren't real. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, you see them all the time. They're on the power lines. That's where they're recharging. They got little power, you know, connectors. It's a CIA plant. It's a CIA project. I just love to be the other side of the conversation. It cracks me up so much.
Josh, you gotta look it up. There's a military contractor that has come out with a surveillance drone that perfectly mimics a swallow.
Yeah.
And when that got out into the conspiracy community, it was like they had Christmas on Earth. It was just
amazing.
They lost their minds.
I love it.
So I saw a fun comment here on the YouTube side. They did not go out of the wire. The rocket would just go straight up and not curl at an angle. Sure, bro. Okay. The one conspiracy that I love, this one's gonna boggle everyone. I'm sure people have heard of it. The moon is an exact image of what Earth is, except upside down and flipped. Does that make sense?
Does not.
No.
Yeah, there's that lunar conspiracy too.
Okay, a real ham radio question came in. I'm not trying to squash the conspiracy theory chat because I really do like that conversation. But someone has commented, and I do want to hit this. So let me find the actual comment there. I'm debating between buying one of two radios, the Yaesu FTDX10 or the ICOM IC7300 Mark II. I'm just not sure what to get. I will be using it primarily as a base mode, but will do limited PODA. I will open that up to our consortium of hams in the chat. Who wants to be the first one? FTDX10 or 7300 Mark II? Gray Man first. Gray Man first. I saw him first. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask if there was a budget, but we are pointing between two radios.
Just two radios. No budget.
Between two radios, I find the ICOMs to be more friendlier with the menus, and I am kind of a bias towards the IC7300 Mark II. If you're looking for remote, the ability to remote it from your phone, iPad, tablet, computer, it's most versatile, I think.
Okay, next.
7300, but only because I'm pissed that Yaesu pulled the bonehead move and discontinued the 857.
No 857 replacement. That could be whatever this A26. I did not expect this A26 thing, by the way, guys. This whole experimental radio drop from Yaesu. Didn't expect it. Didn't know about it. Ray didn't give me a hint, so I'm in with you. I'm speculating, fully speculating. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. But who's got another thought? Comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, 7300.
Now I will say, if you wanted to eke out like the maximum amount of performance in your radio, the FTDX10 might be the better one, just because the architecture of what's going on there is newer. I don't know that the 7300 is a full like overhaul on everything. But with what we heard from Sherwood, we've spent enough time on the receiver end of the radio. We have very, very good receivers. We need to do more on the transmit side, and so that aspect of it, I don't know. For me, it's still going to be the 7300 Mark II because the feature set add USB-C, proper HDMI with audio, so I can plug it in one HDMI port. I can get the audio through all that. This is super YouTube-y BS stuff that you don't care about, but I can pipe the audio directly into the live stream. Is awesome. Awesome radio for that. Amazing. Every radio needs to do that and make my life a lot easier.
By the way, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern, I will be live streaming with the IC7300 Mark II.
There you go. There you go.
From the park.
I think this invention is going to be very interesting too, to see if the rumors are true that whether or not ICOM is going to present something potentially more in the size and form factor and package of an HF Mobile. That would be great if they did.
I think I'm just going to say, I think we'll know here very shortly because Hamvention is coming up and whatever they're talking about. I'm assuming that much like the 7760 that they dropped, ICOM, it's going to be under glass or something along those lines. So I don't know that we're going to get the full picture, but we'll probably get a lot of details. So stay tuned because I think this is probably going to come out. Well, we're going to know about it at Hamvention. So yeah, be ready.
So, Josh, something, and I commented this on your video today. Well, I commented today. I don't remember when you put it out, but about the X026 radio. That 3D mock-up display that they have is very 705, 7300, and 9700 looking with the two knobs on the left side, a smaller knob on the right side, and then the big VFO knob.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this is me thinking here, and I know Ray's okay with speculation.
He is.
An upgrade to the 705.
I don't
That's
see
what
it.
I was kind of thinking.
I don't see it.
I don't know. Because I literally just got a 705 and I love the thing. I just got the USB-C upgraded on the side panel. Fantastic. But like I'm looking at the feature set and I'm looking at like what they did with the 7100 Mark II, and I'm like, hey, those are really cool upgrades. That's a great idea. Like the 705 is relatively aged now, and everyone is. I mean, ICOM is very aware of the gripes with the mini USB ports on the side. I feel like it kind of makes sense to have like a 705 Mark II kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it, and I'll explain why. So you got to think about where the RF happens. Think about like, where do I make the spicy pixies come out of my radio? The head unit on that mock-up is very, very thin. The RF is not happening there. So if it was a 705 upgrade, then that would just be an amp. That would be the same thing they did with the Optima for the FTX or whatever. So it's likely not that. It looks like it's fully just a remotable control head. That's all it is from my point of view. That's my opinion. And then the body of it is where the RF happens, where the spicy pixies come out, right? That's the point of that. So I think it's a 7100 upgrade. And they can call it whatever they want at this point. 706 Mark II G, 7100, 7000. They have a myriad of radios that are of a similar profile that they could be like, yeah, it's the spiritual successor to this. That's literally what it's going to be from my point of view. I think. But we'll know soon. We can speculate. Go nuts.
That is what they're missing in their lineup, though. Honestly, is they're missing a 706 type radio, smaller form factor, but with the full power capability, not being a QRP rig. If they came out with something like, the 706 that's got a waterfall and a decent screen, that'd be perfect. I've always preferred ICOM, but I've always felt like that was sort of the niche spot they were missing.
Yeah, I think, boy howdy. At the end of the day, guys, I really like APRS. I've talked about this a lot.
Yes.
And what we haven't seen is an HF dual or full band mobile radio that has some way of doing APRS. And if a company would just get out of their own way and provide a USB cable or Bluetooth connection, and I could do APRS on VHF, UHF with a HF capable radio that also had VHF, and I could do APRS and all that stuff, that would solve a ton of my problems. I could literally scope everything down to just that radio. So that's really what I want to see. I want to see the radio companies back away from creating these their own version of these interfaces and just pass them off to us on Bluetooth or USB or something along those lines, and then letting us just interface the radio as more of just a provider of the RF. If they can do that, if they're willing to just step back and do that, I think that they will make the IT radio. They really will.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of ICOM, and I have played with the 705. The only reason I've never had any interest in it is because it did sort of lack the versatility in the interfaces, and it is a QRP rate. So, you know, not knocking the QRPers. I play with QRP all the time, but if they come out with something like a modern 706 that looks like a 705 but has the full 100-watt output, that would be chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, indeed. Yes. I agree with you. All right, I think I'm gonna say hi to some of the YouTube friends and start to wrap things up here because my wife is gone. My kids have said they're gonna watch a movie, and so I want to go hang out with them. So let's come around the horn a little bit here. So first of all, thank you, OY1R, for hanging out with us. I appreciate you jumping into the after chat. You didn't have to do that, and thank you so much for sharing your insights. But James and Max, too. You guys, champions. I hope you get to take a victory lap and strut around a little bit for being awesome at Hamvention. Because you're kind of like royalty right now. You just came back from doing an amazing DXPedition. I hope you feel that, and I hope you get to experience that because you deserve it. So anything you want to mention or anything that we should know about, I'm going to give the floor to you guys and go nuts.
Yeah, well, so I am now on the board of the Northern California DX Foundation. They just added a couple new directors. Myself, Violetta, KN2P, who I think's been on Ham Nation before.
I do know Violetta,
and also Greg, W6IZT. He replaced a director who resigned. But if you guys like DXPeditions, NCDXF makes them happen. You know, we issue grants. You know, Bouvet got a $100,000 grant with matching from NCDXF to make it happen. So yeah, so I mean that's a good way. You know, you can donate to expeditions, but if you want to donate to the notion of expeditions continuing to happen, you know, look into NCDXF, look at what we do, and yeah, I guess that's kind of my plug.
That's a really good way to mention that. Yeah, if you like the notion of DXpeditions and want to continue to have them strive, then that is a really good tip. Thank you. James, what say you? Oh, did he hop off?
No, he's still in the list, but maybe he stepped away.
OY1R, are you there? Is it Reggie? Was that what they call you? Sorry, did I screw that up? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Or Reggie, yes.
Anything you want to mention? We're gonna go say hi to some YouTube friends, but you're welcome to hang out and everything. But thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't realize it was on. I just incidentally saw the live stream, and I thought I'd say hi to Max and James. Yeah, absolutely. It was great to be here, and nice to hear you guys again.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out. Thanks so much for doing that. Are you going to do any DXpeditions in the future that we should keep an eye out on?
Oh, hopefully. This was not the first and not the last. It was almost the first, but not the first. Max took the ice, you know, he started on the very top.
Yeah, he hopped right to the major leagues of DXpeditions, didn't he?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, the first would be very nice, but you know, it's gonna be a pretty penny.
Yeah, we didn't dip too much in the cost of all this, but I did have his. Yeah, so I did pull up the website, and I think it's worth mentioning. Guys, I want you to all understand how much the budget is to go to the most remote location in the world. So their budget was $1.7 million. And you're like, that's crazy. How could you spend that much money to go to an island? Well, if you're following the chat with the folks who jumped in, this one ham in particular that said, oh, they're not doing it right, they're not doing it safely, that's money. Doctors and helicopter. And why do they have a helicopter? Well, because they know from past DXPeditions that just trying to boat land radio equipment, water and boats and radios don't go together, right? If you think about it like that. So they used a helicopter. Well, there's a cost. And you have a crew for the ship to function correctly. That's a cost. All that stuff. It's incredibly expensive to do something like this, to go to one of the most remote parts of the world. That's the cost. That's what it costs. And they didn't even fully pay for it. They still need $32,000 to completely cover it, at least as the website was last updated. Right? If I'm wrong, jump in, please.
Click the donation button and a dollar here or there. Everything helps. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll drop a link. Just because it's done, that doesn't mean that they've recouped their costs. Think of it as like they went there and they're running at a loss right now. Sure, people have been paid. Don't worry about it. Everybody running the ship and the doctors and everybody else have been paid. But just think you're the guy that's gonna keyboard commando and cause strife in the group that's trying to do this. You're preventing this from happening. It's literally cost that won't get paid. Important thing to think about, but I don't know.
Yeah, and what's kind of funny actually is that in the realm of these scientific expeditions, we're really cheap. There's a couple of reasons for that. We don't need a big boat that has sonar on the bottom or any of this stuff. But if you look at like the cost for expeditions to Antarctica or to Heard Island or to a lot of these other places, part of it's governments like to spend money, but I mean they'll spend 10 times what we spend to effectively do what we did. So
yeah. It's really important to think about is that this is completely done by civilians, if you will. It's not like a government contracted thing. And if a government was doing it, it would be 10-fold the price. Guessing, just off rip. If not, at least 50%. But yeah. So there you go. That's my thoughts.
That's why the QSL cards, they cost a little bit, so it's gonna help fund those.
Yeah.
The missing 32,000, so $16 a QSO. I think somebody calculated it. So
that's a really good way.
1.7 million divided by 100,000 QSOs. So
I think that's actually a really good way of looking at it. Is if you made a QSO, every one of your QSOs is like $16. I think that's a completely reasonable way of looking at this. It is incredibly difficult to get to Bouvet. It's incredibly difficult to put people there. And everything that goes into you making that contact from your very comfortable chair that you made it from. $16 is a splash in the bucket. And if you made 10 contacts, well, 16 times 10. You should. You should just go through it, support them, make this a thing that allows it to happen again in the future. They don't need to make a profit necessarily, although it would help to.
There's no profit. Trust me.
I know, but I'm saying if you had a profit, you could get better gear or upgrade stuff, whatever. But they gotta break even. You gotta help them out to break even at least, right? So consider that.
Yeah.
If you made a contact,
of course.
If you
there's a lot of gear donated also, radio equipment, tents, not including that price. So
yeah, so if you made a contact and you didn't pay your $16 per QSO, encourage you to do that. You still should do that. So I dropped the link and you should do it. And yeah, we look forward to future efforts from your group and everything that goes into it because yeah, it's legit. It's important. It's fun. And it's good.
It is fun. It was good. We had a blast. Absolutely.
It doesn't sound like you had a blast all the time, but it's that different kind of fun that Adam talks about a lot. And I saw him in the chat earlier, so I think he knows a little bit about that. Different kind of fun, Reggie, right?
Type 2 fun.
Type 2 fun. Is that what you call it? That's what you call it, right, Adam? Type 2 fun.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fun to be fun kind of fun, and it's not always fun while you're doing it, but it's awesome to look back on the experience and what you earned through all of that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, I'm gonna say hi to some YouTuber friends here. So it looks like
it's a very short list.
Oh, we cut the list significantly. Okay, well, thank you, Frank. So Frank is the first. You are the first number one. Uno. Yeah. Go ahead.
So in all fairness, Bill is in chat, but he did message me that he didn't want to go tonight. So a special shout out to Ham Radio Tectonics. Go check him out.
Huge shout out to our buddy Ham Radio Tectonics. I'll be hanging out with him in a couple of weeks here. So love you, man.
And I dropped Bill's channel just because. But for me, I have some fun stuff going on. I'm doing a lot more live streaming because I haven't had time to do the video editing thing. Work has gotten in the way.
When you can't edit, just go live.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been having fun with
that.
Drop
your link there too.
Yeah, I just did that. I've been having fun with that. Made up some fun new thumbnails that have gotten very mixed attention from the community.
I gotta tell you something, Frank. Okay, I saw I saw the link on Facebook with the lady that was wearing lingerie about the shacks, and I'm like, bro, really, bro?
About the shacks?
Like upgrade my shack or fix my shack, and it was like the lady with the black.
No, the Fix My Shack hasn't been anything like that. It's the overnight live streams that are.
Frank, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm referencing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need to get into the minutia. I'm just saying the lady, like you got a lady doing the ham radio thing, AI stuff. I don't know.
Oh no, that not AI. Well, little tiny bit of the background is AI, but the model 100% real. Someone I've shot and worked with. Anyway. Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going, Frank? Frank, I feels like you're not like trying to get my point. Is this? Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah, no, I get. I get your point. But let's put it this way, Josh. It's been about 60-40 as to who has liked those thumbnails. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing that. I'm finally wrapping up the Baofeng series that I've been doing. And once I have that all done, I am going to be putting out a video a week. And the plan is at least 5 videos. So there's at least 5 weeks for videos that will be coming up probably in late May, early June at this rate. So yeah, that's about it. Always having fun over on the Ham Radio Kids table with Tim and Jeff and Vince when he's able to drop by, and Freddie when he's able to drop by. But yeah, not much else going on.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Next, Tim, the Gray Man Poda. Are you there, man?
My God, I wasn't ready to be up so quick. But so I just got back from the Moore Expo. Had a great time watching a bunch of faux landers and their $80,000 rigs.
Faux landers
run for cover when the ham radio operators in the Gazelle Town were hanging out. We were plugged into Skywarn, and when the weather came through, we let's just say we sat and enjoyed the bourbon and cigars while everybody ran their rigs in the big. They had a big giant barn out there, so there was probably 50 plus rigs in there. Funny thing was it was kind of just downhill from a large parking lot, paved parking lot, so all the water ran down, and they were in some like 6 inches of water.
That's a perfect opportunity to use their faux landers, right?
Yeah, the faux landers. I registered that domain, fauxlanders.com.
Did you really?
I sure did. I'm gonna have some fun with that. And I also registered the domain Mr. Kilt, MrKilt.com in honor of our friend Bill, who unfortunately can't talk right now, so we can have fun talking about the Mr. Kilt saga.
Is this a human
More
being,
Expo.
a real human being, Mr. Kilt?
Well, it was Bill.
Wait, Bill's wearing a
Hammerman.
kilt now?
Yeah, the photos. Well, I think it was part of his shower house attire, getting to and from the campsite over to the shower house.
Oh,
but-
he was just wearing a towel.
No, he was wearing a kilt, a tactikilt.
Like with the cargo pockets? The tactikilt with the cargo pockets, that thing?
Very proud of the 511 tactikilt. I think he's got it in multiple colors.
Okay.
So I'm sure he might be wearing it at around the campsite.
In
and stuff.
solidarity, as someone who is probably part Scottish, I might do that with him. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see at Huntsville.
Yes.
Come to Huntsville. That's the way you'll
But,
know if it's a real thing.
So Mr. Kilt, and then possibly the also the domain tax sack, because Mr. Kilt was he was foraging with his tax sack.
What is the tax sack? What is that?
Every guy's got one, Josh.
Is that like when you have a little like a bum
You mean a
bag?
man pack?
A man
No
pack?
tax. What goes free with a kilt?
Okay.
Your tax sack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your tax
Yeah.
sack.
There we go. All righty. So it's midnight on the East Coast, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Yeah, no, we had a great time. It was fun. Myself was there. Prep Ham Paul was there. Bill
Nice.
was there. Digital Rancher was there. Kyle A. Zero Z was there. And Jason.
Yeah.
Hamrio 2.0 was there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, a couple other people. Hector showed up, and I cannot think of Hector's call sign off the top of my head. Actually, funny story. Hector and I sat in the smoking tent with
smoking
bourbon
tent.
and cigars. Well, I mean, everybody was hanging out smoking cigars. Not me though, of course. But I was on my phone, connected to the Flex Radio back here in Indiana, and on the other side of the Gazelle gazebo, Hector was on his phone, connected to his 101D. No, it's 7760.
Okay.
And we made a Tennessee to Indiana 40-meter contact while sitting in the tent.
That's
there
really cool.
At More Expo. So that's on a video somewhere. So
That's
I'm sure
really funny. That's really funny.
I'm not sure. I think Jason might have caught that one, but it was just fun time. So I've got that new USB-C board for the KX2, so I'm going to get that in probably this week.
Yeah.
And start getting some stuff together. I'm going to be flying to Vegas here in a couple weeks, so I want to make sure I'm going to take that radio with me to do some POTA while I'm there. I don't want to carry a bunch of extra weight, so I'm going to try to make it as small as possible, and it'll be a QRP activation, but nonetheless, we'll have fun.
Nice.
And
appreciate you, man.
As I alluded to earlier, I'm just filling up space here because there's so few YouTubers on here tonight.
No, you don't have to. It's good. I'll go ahead.
And I drink a cup of coffee. So I've also got the live stream 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning from the Morgan Monroe State Forest. I will be live streaming just POTA activation and having fun.
Amazing. Well, appreciate you hanging out, man. Love it. Thanks for doing that. All right, I think let's see. I think it's Adam next. Is it Adam? I think it's Adam. It is Adam. K6ARK. How's it going, man? What's up? I saw you hop in the chat. Been a while since we talked. What's going on?
Yeah, it's going well. I missed the main part of the stream, but it was really cool hearing the boys talk about Bouvet in at least part of the after chat that I was able to catch. And I know the summit on that island is actually a soda summit, so perhaps someday the stars will align and I'll get to go down there and activate that. But that would be a pretty epic journey. I'm sure there are a lot of difficulties in getting just permission to be able to do that.
It sounds like Adam. Let me give you the
Yeah.
spoiler. It sounds like if you go to the Visalia DX like conference that they do in Visalia, California, which I went to 2 years ago, and you talk to the right people and say, I will go to Bouvet. Like, you maybe have to put a sign on your chest or back or something. Max will tell you more. But that's literally what he did, it sounds like, and then he was able to go.
Nice. That's awesome. But yeah, that would be like a dream soda summit, obviously, right? The rarest soda summit in the world.
Rare, yeah, pretty rare. Yeah.
But beyond that, Mark and I, a month and a half or 2 months ago or so, went and did some pretty rare soda summits that are very remote and are pretty unlikely to have. At least one of them is very unlikely to have another activation. Out in the middle of Mojave National Preserve, out in the desert east of Barstow, and it was quite the adventure. Some good Type 2 fun in there. I posted a link to that video in the chat, and that posted last week. So that's my latest video that's come out. And then I'm really looking forward to the camp out this weekend. That was the third thing that I was going to toss out there and mention.
Yeah. Now, as Mark would put it, he's like, this is one of the hardest hikes I ever did in my life, and I'm really glad that Adam posted the video of where we almost died. That is how Mark
yes. We didn't almost die, but there were
not you, but he said he almost died. That was his comment. So, yeah. So yeah, next weekend we'll be live from the Ham Radio Crash Course Campout. So make sure that you guys are all ready for that. I think we're gonna try and live stream a lot longer because now I think we are pretty confident in our digital capabilities. I may just let it run and just, I don't know. I'll probably do like the 1 hour thing early, and then I'm just gonna do a second after chat or just running, and then people can just come in and chat and talk with people. I may get a little closer to the radios, but yeah, I want to. I don't know. We're gonna explore the space. Gonna cool. Advance and grow that whole area. I've got a better digital setup now than I did in the past. Better understanding. So it should be a lot of fun. Very excited to see you.
Nice.
Mark's coming with us. Mark's gonna be there too, so it's gonna be great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's confirmed.
Sweet. Yeah, Mark and I will gladly run CW for the station there for anybody that's interested. Yeah, set us up and we'll make her happen.
We will be at Silverwood Lake. There will be the most activations out of Silverwood Lake of the year for this weekend, so be ready. Operating on maybe all bands. We'll see. I don't know that we can get super high microwave, but we'll have some microwave, I expect. From some. Yeah, go ahead.
You need me to bring my 160 meter dipole?
I mean, maybe. We got the space for it. We could set that up, no problem.
That we do.
Yeah, we got the space. So maybe we'll do 160 too. All right. Well, Adam, appreciate you hanging on or coming out. Appreciate you. Ugh. All right. Next. Let's see. Mark, Boondock Echo. How's it going, man? Loved your comment earlier on the main show.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm good. We suddenly got into Dayton, so we're going to be there for the first time on the 15th through 17th. So come stop by the booth, get a show special. We're giving away free collectible cards. Oh, Josh has seen them; they're amazing.
They are
probably nothing like it has ever existed before, nor will ever need to exist again.
You'll put it right next to your hologram Charizard.
I think so.
Mint, mint level 10 grading. It's that cool.
That is cool. And I'm going to give away some stickers, and we're going to give away some bumper sticker style stickers that say it's better to have it and not need it than not have it and not need it. We'll have to ship one up to Jody. So I hope to see you guys there. It should be fun. I was on a live stream from a YouTuber I didn't know existed, because there's a lot of them out there, and it's called Dude Tested. I'm going to post a link right now.
Nice.
But he's inviting hams on, so all our YouTube friends that sell stuff, he's apparently inviting them on and giving them a a few minutes to talk about what it is that they're selling. So if that's anything that interests you, super nice guy.
It's Ham Radio, dude. You're talking about Ham Radio, dude.
Is that who I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's Ham Radio.
He rebranded. He rebranded here in the last year.
That's his same channel, yeah.
Oh,
Dude
okay.
It's Ham Radio, dude.
Oh,
good guy.
Okay. Well, see how much I don't know. But yeah, I got to hang out with him. We're probably going to be giving away a few things at Dayton, probably a big screen TV, because we're just going to buy it at Sam's Club when we get there and then not be able to fly back with it. So somebody's going to get to take that home. I've got a golf rangefinder, a $300 value. Somebody's going to get to take that home. And then whatever else I can find lying around the house. There's like a half bottle of cat treats. Somebody gets to take that home too. So it should be fun. So other than that, the YouTube is, I don't know if I'll be making any videos. My assistant probably will, but they'll be marketing style. But the Go Bag video, if you guys haven't checked that out, that's doing pretty well for us. It's gotten us about 400 subscribers so far. So take a look. That's all. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you. And go check them out. I know they're going to have some good things to check out at Hamvention. If you have not seen what the Boondock Echo does in person, make sure you go to the booth and check it out, because I think you might be surprised. So
yeah, we've got one other quick thing, real quick though. I have to share this. I found this device. It's a media player, plugs into the HDMI, but it's a triggered media player. So you can plug in switches to it, and you hit the buttons, and it'll play a video associated with that button. So come by and press our buttons.
Come by and press our buttons. There you go.
Right?
I like it. I don't know why my chat is not updating. I realize that right now.
So we had the same problem with Tim, EOD Kaboom's live stream, and you had the same problem last week, a week before, whatever it was. I think it's a YouTube pop out problem. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah, I think you're right. Next is Mark Soda Plus. What's going on, man? Are you in the chat here?
I am in the chat. I'm feeding kibbles to Ormu on the couch.
So this weekend, was it last year, we were in Big Bear, California. Was that right? I think it was the exact same time. So sadly, the Big Bear Ham Fest is not going on this year.
That is sad. That was a really fun event last year.
Yeah, we did Bertha. We did, what was the other summit we did?
I don't remember. We did a snowstorm, though. That was pretty memorable.
Yeah, it was literally crazy. In the last week in April, we got hit with snow in Big Bear, California. A lot of fun. But sadly, not happening this year. Bummed out about that. I literally moved the camp out because of that.
Oh, really?
We moved the camp out because of Big Bear, and now I'm probably going to go back because the joke of the camp out is it's my birthday weekend. My wife likes to do it on my birthday, and now that is we're off of that weekend because of Big Bear. But maybe we'll go back. I don't know. We'll see.
Like the idea of just having all of your closest friends out for your birthday. That's cool.
Yeah, that's her joke. Is she's like, I need the whole camp out to be around your birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what's going on with you, man?
Well, I finally got to do some POTA. I've been stuck at work, but I took 3 watts from my QMX and hung out on the pier today and watched the passersby and made some beeps into the ether. So that was pretty fun.
Which pier was that? You sent me the images for that. Was that Venice?
Yeah, this is the Santa Monica pier.
Santa Monica, yeah. That was the one I did the live stream from, right?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I live streamed I went all the way down and I live streamed from there and did a POTA activation.
Oh, okay. I was probably about 50 feet from where you were live streaming then.
Yeah, it looked like it from the pictures I saw.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't realize that. It's a great place to operate. The nice thing about being on a wooden pier is your electrical height is actually really good.
Oh, yeah. And if what kind of antenna did you run?
Oh, K6ARK, of course.
Did you run a radial at all, or just a bit of coax kind of thing?
Yeah, I've always got like a little stub radial on there. It makes it a lot more predictable when you mast it in wet versus dry environments.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular infed has some N7 KOM traps on it, so it's a resonant tribander.
Okay.
That means...
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, 2015-10, so it pairs perfectly with the high band QMX.
Mm-hmm. I did vertical, like on the water. I use verticals a lot. I don't know why. Just closer to water.
Well, the nice thing about
salt water, it's like
the nice thing about the traps is they shorten it up, and so if you're using a POTA 20 mast, it turns out it's a vertical.
Okay.
So it's an infed half wave, but it's got that vertical radiation pattern.
I mean, if you've aligned it vertically. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you run it like a vertical, yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if you're using like harmonics off a 40 meter, then you're getting that weird inverted V harmonic radiation pattern. But the traps give you that nice, clean, radiation pattern. So anyway, so I was doing that today. And we actually got some videos out. Aura can't join tonight, so he gave me permission to mention his video.
Oh, yes.
Did you see that link?
I did, and I have not watched it yet. The speed run. So he's talking. So okay, everybody understand what Aura did here is set a level that I love that he did it, but I'm also not ready to compete.
And building. But it turns out.
Okay, let Mark explain what Aura did here, because I don't think people understand what's going on.
So. I'm not a gamer, but my understanding, Josh, can you explain what a speed run is to set the ground?
Well, it's the same thing I did with the 1 pound POTA challenge. It's like create these weird, stupid challenges. So speed running is the completion of a video game in a period of time. And you say, oh, a period of time. That's like when I start Mario Brothers until when I save Princess Peach at the end. So yes, but speedrunners will create all these little variations, like with certain cuts or breaks or hacks or whatever. So Aura created a speed run of the Pebble HF. I did not expect this coming. Mark, explain what he did here, because it's pretty awesome.
So the Pebble HF, for anybody who's not familiar with it, although I know it's been getting a lot of press, is a very simple HF radio that Mike and Becky, the ham radio duo, are actively working to release to the community. It's not fully out yet, but there were some pre-release copies, and Aura got his hands on his pre-release copy. The big advantage of the Pebble versus any other radio out there is it's really capable and really easy to build. All of the surface mount stuff is pre-installed, and they're single band, and so you don't have to do a ton of toroids. And the case has enough room in it that when you case it, you don't have to worry about precision tolerancing or anything. So it's the perfect first easy build of a radio that's good enough to legitimately do what you want to do. So Aura's idea was take the box unopened, take this box with the kit to a summit, and then the timer starts when you start building the kit, and the timer ends when you get the power coming out when you PTT for the first time. And
so not only did he build it on the summit, but he also activated the summit then with the radio, right?
Yes, because to up the stakes, he did not bring a backup radio.
That's a level that I don't know that anyone has done before. That is a challenge that's like setting a bar. He has set a bar right now.
He absolutely did. And it worked. He set what we believe is the world record for an on-summit Pebble build.
It's uncontested for sure. it's uncontested. But I think he might have opened the door for people doing this now, because this is really cool what he did. So I think his tenuous grasp of that record, I don't know that he's going to hang on to it.
There is a website that tracks world records. I'll have to go dig up the link. Aura is in there with the world record reported on that website. So if anybody else wants to go take the world record, they should go add themselves.
Did he build the toroids in that amount of time too?
Yes.
Dude, he built the whole thing in 14 minutes?
I think it was 28 to PTT or 26, something like that.
26:49.
26:49.
Oh, I can beat that.
Now,
I can beat that.
Now, the thing that threw him off a little bit is he was rushing so much that he accidentally installed the control knob on the wrong side of the board.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So to make this more impressive, he did not have a solder sucker or any of the other things you need to actually fix that. He did the repair on the summit.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is...
Okay, so already we know that there's efficiencies if you just build it correctly. See, this is also a speed run thing. If you blunder in a speed run, then people know that like they can do the speed run faster if they don't do the thing that he did. So already I know I could be faster than Aura right now. I might have to do this. I might have to do.
You got to do it, man.
I might have to. But I built one of these before. Is that a problem? Because he's doing it blind. He did that. He's never seen this thing before, right?
No, the rule was start to finish. That's the speed run. There was no requirement that you can't practice.
Oh.
Support Mike and Becky. Buy 3 pebbles.
I might have to do this. I might have to do this. What? Oh, he literally posted this to like a gamer website. Are you kidding? Like a speedrun gamer website? And they were like, yeah, we love this. They were like down.
If people are down, man.
This is actually opening. Wait. This is actually a bigger thing. This is opening a window for people building electronics for speedrunning.
I think he has started something here.
He might have started something.
I'm just waiting for the first QMX speed run on a summit because that would be insane.
Well, not even on a summit. Just like now you're making competitive kit building. I didn't even think about that, but why not? Competitive kit building. Why not?
Kit building.
Why not?
Brought to you by N6 ARA Electronics.
Dude, this is a really good idea.
I detect a live stream coming up.
Dude, competitive kit building is a great idea. It's a really good idea.
So, by the way, if you want to find efficiencies, don't bring me with you because I will heckle the entire time.
Yeah, I can only imagine the shit you were saying. I have to go watch this video now. You're just sitting there, and I know you're getting bored, and I know you got to say something. I know you, and I know you said some things to him.
Oh, there was a lot said. At no point did I stop talking.
So, Josh, I've watched this video, and knowing Mark, this is the joke I wanted to tell you here.
What's the video?
Why do ham radio operators love coffee?
Because it's a way to get whiskey to your mouth?
Because without it, their signals just can't espresso themselves.
Oh, terrible.
Dad joke.
Terrible.
That's horrible.
I love it. So, all right. So, Josh, that was one thing I was doing, which was heckling Aura. We also did finally get out a new episode of the podcast.
Good for you.
This is with David N6AN, who's been a ham for over 50 years. He got licensed when he was a teenager, and he has done more things with ham radio than I had imagined you could do. And so it's kind of just cool to see how somebody has kept it fresh and exciting for that many decades.
I love it. Go check it out, guys. Go check it out. Are you uploading to your channel? Or
it's on the channel and Spotify.
Good. Oh, that's right, because it's on video. He was in the studio for this?
Yeah, we brought him to studio.
Dude. Oh, I mean, that was the rule, right? Is you got to be in studio.
That is the rule.
It's my favorite, but it was the most it's so difficult to do that. It's so difficult.
It makes life a lot harder, but it is fun. And just for anybody who wants context, David N6AN was #1 in America and #5 in the world for the 2024 10 meters soda challenge.
Nice.
So he was cranking. I think he did over 300 summits that year.
Wow, that's awesome.
And he set a rule for himself to never use more than 5 watts. So he placed number 1 in the U.S. fully QRP, which I thought was pretty baller.
I do love that.
And
awesome.
And on the side, he's also been going to international high-speed telegraphy competitions. So you'll hear about that kind of stuff in the podcast.
Very cool. I love that. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us and dropping the link specifically to this video on the YouTube so you guys can go check it out.
I want to see that speed run. Yeah.
Yeah, drop the link, so go check it out. So here's my I love this. I love it so much. Go buy a Pebble and do this because honestly, I think I made a blunder too when I built it, but it's so easy to fix. It's not a difficult kit. It's really not a difficult kit. You can totally get this thing up and running in like no time. So do this. Go to the summit, activate from the summit. Hell, build the thing on the summit. Whatever you want. This is awesome. I love it. Great idea that Aura came up with. You pass that on to him. Bummer we won't see him.
I will let him know.
But we will see you next weekend.
Josh.
Yes.
You know that solder paste that you put on, which floats at a lower temperature than regular solder? I would just put that all in the pads that need to be put on, put all the components in it, put it in an oven, and it'll just be done in like 20 seconds.
You're going to put it on an oven on the soda summit?
Okay, there's these things called PCB ovens.
No, but on the summit.
Probably could. Just need a generator.
No,
but
you're going to drag a generator also to the summit?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, that's the question, right? That's the question. I hear what you're saying. No, I know all about solder paste. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, like, will you do that on a summit? There's a lot. By the way, okay. So the now that I'm seeing this a little bit closer up, the solder station that Aura has is actually really, really good. The iFixit portable kit. This is the one that was at DEF CON. All over the place at DEF CON. Lots of people using this. It is a very good solder station. So,
yeah, iFixit pretty good stuff. I use them.
That's a good one.
I have about $400 worth of tools from them.
Yeah.
I spent too much.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to go hang out with the kids a little bit. And I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, which that's my son wants to see all of them again. So I guess that's what we're doing. So thanks, everybody on the Discord. Take it easy, all right?
73, Josh.
All right, so I'm clear on that. Let me pause this for a second. So next week we'll be live from the HRCC campout. And if you remembered last year, I did a giveaway. And I will be doing a giveaway again. That giveaway will include something for this live stream. So if you're watching me right now and you can't be at the HRCC campout, I get it. I understand. We're going to have a very good prize. To be honest with you, it's going to be the last prize. So you're going to watch a lot of people win stuff. We're going to walk around. I'm going to space it out. I'm going to have a lot of fun. We'll be doing radio. But at the end, we will be giving away a very, very good prize to someone that is not at the campout, to somebody that is watching. So hopefully, you watch the show next weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. And until we talk to you again, 73, have a great rest of your weekend and get in on some of that ham radio. See ya. Wait, I didn't actually do something. Hold on. So I was really proud of myself on this orange EDC setup that I did that we couldn't maximize on. So I just wanted to say, like, how proud I am of this setup. So, hey, we'll talk about ham radio EDC in the future. That's a great topic that we will definitely bring back. So if you're still watching, think about what your everyday carry is of ham radio. And until I touch you again, now, finally, 73s. See ya.
calls